Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Pirates, the traveler check-in system, refusing the invitation of the redhead at start. Chapter 61. Lin Mo ignored him and continued walking. The faces of the surrounding townspeople were filled with unbelievable shock. What did he do just now? Why did the daughter of the old Xing family get better all of a sudden? It's amazing. His hand was glowing just now. Was it that light that cured Lao Xing's daughter? Who is that child? Does anyone know him? I don't know. Segu Island is only a few towns away. Judging by the style of the cotton clothes he wears, it's not made on our island. Ah, it turns out that he took the wine as a reward for treating Lao Xing's daughter. We all misunderstood him just now. It's over. I said he was uneducated. Will he bear a grudge against me? Lin Mo completely ignored the noisy voices behind him, uncorked the bottle directly, and poured the 2 bottles of wine he just got into the wine gourd as he walked. After the wine gourd was full, he gulped down the remaining half bottle of wine in one gulp. Although the taste of the wine is average, something is better than nothing. All of a sudden, Lin Mo's body warmed up. Not long after he walked, he found a hotel that was still open. Without thinking much, Lin Mo stepped in and booked a guest room for 7 days. Slept comfortably at the hotel. When he woke up, it was already dark outside. Feeling a little hungry, Lin Mo was about to go out to buy something to eat. Just out the door of the hotel, not far away, a man wearing a fluffy winter fur hat with leopard spots, 2 small gold earrings on his ears, obvious dark circles under his eyes, and a long black cotton coat, is a head taller than Lin Mo. Holding a stack of books, the boy hurriedly passing behind a row of houses caught his attention. Is that Terran, Tramin as the nickname Luffy gave to a man named Trafalgar Law in the future. In Lin Mo's memory, Trafalgar Law experienced the tragic death of his relatives when he was young. Later, in order to avenge the world, he joined the Don Quixote family at the age of 10, and was later killed by his benefactor Doflamingo. The younger brother Corazon was rescued and influenced by him. At the age of 13, he left the Don Quixote family to avenge Corazon, who was killed by Doflamingo, and then founded the Heart Pirates, which became famous all over the world. Judging from the current point of time, Luo should be 13 or 14 years old now. Lin Mo can be sure that there are no Doflamingo people around here. And Corazon, who changed Luo, was not by his side. In other words, there is a high probability that Corazon is dead. As for the current Luo, he should have left the Don Quixote family and is preparing to find a partner to start the Heart Pirates. Sensing that someone was looking at him, Luo turned to look at Lin Mo. The eyes of the two met. Luo froze for a moment, but didn't have time to think about it. Behind, 2 big men have already chased over. Smelly brat, stop for me and put the book down. I've seen someone who steals money and food, but this is the first time I've seen someone who even steals books. Hey, brat, stop. Seeing the people behind him chasing him, Luo immediately spread his legs and ran away. Before he ran far, he was stopped by helpers from the town. Holding the book in his hand tightly, Luo backed away with an ugly expression. The townspeople surrounded him, and one of the 2 men who chased him immediately went to grab the book in Luo's hand. Let go, Luo said through gritted teeth. Smelly brat, is it reasonable for you to steal? The man who snatched the book grabbed the book Luo was holding with one hand, and picked it up by the collar of Luo's back with the other hand, trying to grab the book with all his strength. Pulling it out of Luo's hand, it turned out that the book seemed to grow in Luo's hand. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't pull it out. You. That's right, let go quickly, seeing that you are still a child, there is still time to turn around now. Little devil, don't be stubborn, it's your fault, return the book quickly. The surrounding townspeople persuaded one after another. Luo clenched his teeth, and said with an ugly face, anyway, your country is almost out of doctors, so why do you need these medical books? Sooner or later, these medical books will become contraband in your country. Before that day comes, you might as well give them to me now. After Luo finished speaking, the man who was still grabbing the book suddenly weakened. The originally noisy townspeople also quieted down, and the atmosphere of the scene was sluggish for a while. The man put Luo down, trembling slightly, with a hint of anger in his tone. What do you know? What can you understand as a child? Maybe these books will really become contraband in this country in the future, but not yet. Isn't it? No one's family members will not get sick. If we can't even protect these books, our country will really be hopeless. After the man finished speaking, he covered his eyes with his arms and sobbed. The surrounding townspeople also sighed. Luo tightly hugged the book in his hand, feeling very angry. Originally, his purpose of coming to Magnetic Drum Island was to improve his medical skills. After all, this island enjoys the title of medical superpower. But who would have thought that as soon as he landed on the island, he met the king of the island who ordered the hunting doctor to expel the doctor. With no one to ask for advice, Luo could only rely on these medical books to learn by himself. Although he is still a child, only 14 years old, but with his current strength, it is easy to knock down these townspeople. But when he saw the people in this country being abused by tyranny, and the people were in dire straits, it reminded him of what happened to him when he was a child. Luo can understand the pain of these people. That's why he didn't use force to solve the problem. But what's the use of leaving these medical books? Medical skills are not something that a layman can learn by just reading a few medical books and go out to save people. Luo grew up in a medical family. Under the influence of his parents, he knew a lot of superficial medical knowledge. If it weren't for the tragic incident of destroying the town when he was 10 years old, perhaps he would have become an excellent doctor now. Can you understand these books? Luo asked blankly. The townspeople were silent. Luo continued. It is difficult for a layman to learn medical skills by himself. Even if you keep these books, it is a waste. I don't want to do anything to you. I will order these books. None of you can snatch them from me. Go back. Little ghost, do you know medical skills? The man who snatched the book before asked in surprise. Luo nodded expressionlessly. At this moment, a small figure walked past the crowd indifferently. Look, that's the kid who saved Lao Xing's daughter with thaumaturgy. I don't know who shouted. Everyone's eyes immediately shifted to Lin Mo, who was about to forage for food. Yes, it's this kid who saved Lao Xing's daughter. Really? But how old he looks, are you mistaken? Absolutely, it was him. I was there at the time. This kid cured the little girl without even touching Lao Xing's daughter. Little ghost, how did you do it? Tell us about it. Everyone was talking. Seeing that everyone turned their attention, Lin Mo didn't want to talk to them at first, but after thinking about it, he asked, which restaurant is still open? Huh, a restaurant, everyone should be packing up now. When I came here just now, I saw that Xingxing Ramen was still open. You can see it by walking straight in this direction. Is this child hungry? Do you have money? If you don't have money, you can go to my house for dinner. Yes, you can also come to my house for dinner. The townspeople were more enthusiastic than each other, as if they were not the same group of people as when they scolded Lin Mo before. Lin Mo ignored them and continued walking forward. When the townspeople diverted their attention, Luo Bian took another look at Lin Mo, and immediately recognized Lin Mo as the person who was staring at him just now. From what these townspeople said, it seems that this person also has medical skills, and it is a very strange thaumaturgy. Who is he? Luo asked, looking at Lin Mo's back. The surrounding townspeople shook their heads to express their ignorance. I don't know. Lao Xing asked his name, but he didn't say it. One of the townspeople answered Luo's question. Luo continued to ask, how did he save people? That's it. Another townsman imitated Lin Mo's previous appearance, stretched out his hand, palm down, and continued, at a distance of about half a meter above the girl's head. He did this movement, and then his hand, a bright green light appeared, and the light slowly melted into the girl's body, and the girl's fever subsided. It was really amazing. I have never seen such a fever reduction. That's right, that's the first time I've seen him. That kid is so powerful. I really want to know how he did it. Me too. Hey, it's a pity that this kid is too aloof and doesn't care about others. Ah, I almost forgot to remind him that this country is expelling doctors. If the guards know that he has medical skills, they will be expelled immediately. Ah, do you want to talk about it? He came from the port, so he must already know about it. I don't know, I think it's better for someone to remind me, just in case. That kid is too cold. If I don't go, which one of you wants to go? The townspeople began to push each other away. Holding a stack of medical skills, Luo stared at Lin Mo's faraway back. At this time, the man who came to snatch the books back suddenly said, These books are kept just to give us a little more hope. We also know that not everyone can learn medical skills. In fact, I also want these books. Make the most of it, kid. Do you really like and want to learn more advanced medical skills? Luo retracted his gaze, turned his head to look at the man, tightly held the hand holding the book, nodded and said, yes. The man hooked the corners of his mouth and said in relief, in this case, I will give you these books, but in exchange, you have to tell that kid for us not to expose your medical skills. I can see that. In fact, I'm also very interested in that kid, so let's go. Luo Zhen looked at the man in shock, nodded, and immediately chased in the direction of Lin Mo with the medical book in his arms. After walking for 5 minutes against the cold wind mixed with snowflakes, Lin Mo soon arrived at his destination, Xinxing Ramen Restaurant. Because it was meal time, there were already many people sitting in the ramen restaurant at this moment. After Lin Mo entered, he directly ordered a bowl of signature noodles. Seeing that there were wines for sale, he bought 2 more bottles by the way. Then he sat down at the only vacant table for 4 in the dining hall. Before the ramen came, Lin Mo took a sip of wine first. Luo chased him in, searched around, found where Lin Mo was, and went directly to sit opposite him. Luo said expressionlessly, people in the town, let me tell you, don't expose your medical skills, or you will be kicked out by the country's guard army. Lin Mo let out an, oh, casually. Luo stared at him silently. Lin Mo continued to drink indifferently. Until the ramen he ordered came. Lin Mo took out the chopsticks from the chopstick holder and began to eat. The aroma of the ramen spread to Luo, and Luo couldn't help swallowing, his stomach growled cooperatively. Luo blushed slightly, and immediately picked up the hot water bottle on the table for guests to drink for free, got himself a cup of hot water, and drank it all in one go. Lin Mo looked up at him, and understood in his heart, it seems that this guy has no money. Moreover, although Luo is carrying a knife, it is not the long knife named Ghost Cry in Lin Mo's impression. From this, it can be estimated that Luo should not be able to use the fruit ability proficiently. That's right, Luo is a devil fruit capable user. It is a person with superpower operation fruit ability. The fruit of surgery ability users can create a global or hemispherical space, and ability users can cut, exchange, and splice anything at will in the space, and even exchange 2 minds. The life cut by the capable person with a knife will not die, and will not even bleed, and can still be alive, but it will cause slight pain. Anything cut by the fruit of surgery ability can be spliced together, which is fundamentally different from ordinary direct cutting with a knife. The attack of the fruit of surgery belongs to the superpower, not a physical attack, and can attack the entity of the natural ability. If the fruit of the operation is used by someone with enough talent, it can even give humans eternal life. Once this operation is performed, the person with the ability will die. In short, the ability of the fruit of surgery can be said to be quite powerful. But there is another disadvantage when using the fruit's ability, that is, it will consume the user's own physical strength, and excessive use of the ability will even consume lifespan. Luo noticed the 2 swords hanging on Lin Mo's waist. When Lin Mo was almost finished eating a bowl of noodles, he hesitated for a while, and asked, are you a swordsman? After finishing the last sip of soup, Lin Mo wiped his mouth and replied, that's right. Is it? Luo was stunned, touched the sword he was carrying, and asked again, then you came to Magnetic Drum Island by yourself? Yeah. Lin Mo stood up, ready to leave. Luo got up and chased after him. I am also a person, and I can also use swords and medical skills. The 2 of us are quite alike in some ways. Lin Mo. Luo continued. What's your name? Lin Mo ignored him. Luo didn't care about Lin Mo's indifference, and then said, I founded a pirate group, and I am short of crew members. If you are alone, how about being a crew member on my ship? I will let you be the deputy captain. In Lin Mo's memory, Luo should be a black-bellied, indifferent, calm, rebellious person. But what's going on now? This guy didn't even know his name, so he just sent out an invitation to board the ship. Lin Mo said speechlessly, I refuse. Luo was stunned for a moment, and quickly said, you think about it again, I am seriously inviting you. Lin Mo still has the same attitude. I'm a traveler, and I'm not interested in pirates. Traveler. Luo couldn't help but frowned. Even if you want to prevaricate me, can't you find a more convincing reason? What is a traveler? Lin Mo glanced at him speechlessly, and said indifferently, prevarication. Is it necessary for you and me to prevaricate? After finishing speaking, Lin Mo sneered and continued walking forward. At the same time, in my mind, the system's notification tone suddenly sounded. Didi, reject Death Surgeon Luo's invitation to board the ship, sign in progress plus 20%, current total progress is 30%, and reward proficient palm fairy art. Single quote. In an instant, more advanced information about the palm immortal art entered Lin Mo's mind. After a daze, Lin Mo couldn't help but stop. At this time, Luo's stomach growled again. Lin Mo looked back at him. Luo turned his head away with a blushing face, and said arrogantly, what do you look at? If you don't join, you don't join, and I don't have to ask you to join my pirate group. Lin Mo couldn't help chuckling, put his hand into his pocket, actually took out a money bag full of Bailey from the system space, and threw it directly to Luo. Luo caught it reflexively. Looking down, Luo frowned again, and said in an unhappy tone, what are you doing? Are you looking down on me? I don't want any free money, are you sure you want to be a pirate? Lin Mo sneered, turned around, and continued to walk outside the ramen shop. Lin Mo actually gave Luo the money for two purposes. First, it was a little interesting because Luo helped him complete the sign in progress. 2. In case Luo kept pestering him like Zoro and Jigwantu, it happened that this guy was hungry, so it would be most appropriate to dump him at a ramen restaurant. By the time we left the ramen restaurant, it was already dark. It snows all year round on Sugu Island, and the outside is full of snow. Instead of being outside in the wind and snow at night, it is better to go back to the hotel and have a good rest. And so, Lin Mo didn't stay long in the town. When he passed a convenience store, he bought all the bottles of wine on the shelf in the convenience store and went back to the hotel. For the next 2 days, Lin Mo spent most of his time in the hotel except for going out to eat at mealtimes. Until the third day when I came to Magnetic Drum Island. Lin Mo, who had had enough rest, left the hotel early in the morning and walked towards the landmark of Magnetic Drum Island, the high mountains that looked like magnetic drums. It was windy and snowy all the way. Lin Mo walked forward step by step. He was going to find Chopper. According to the previous sign-in experience, the sign-in task of Magnetic Drum Island definitely has something to do with Chopper. Chopper is actually a little reindeer, he should be 5 years old at this time. Chopper with a small blue nose was originally a different kind among the deer herd and was often bullied. Later, he was expelled by the deer herd because he ate the human fruit by mistake. Little Chopper wanted to have a partner, so he used the ability of the fruit of everyone to transform into a human, trying to integrate into humans. But his appearance is not completely human, his nose is still blue and unchanged. Human beings regard him as a snowman, as a monster, drive him away like a herd of deer, and some even shoot him with guns. Chopper didn't know what he did wrong, and he didn't know who to hate. He only wanted companions, but he was called a monster. He is no longer a reindeer, nor a human being, so he is alone every day until he meets Dr. Shirulik. Hirulik is a quack doctor who spent the rest of his life researching the miracle of cherry blossoms. He has never received a penny for treating people, even though the Drum Kingdom has no doctors in the town to treat the townspeople due to the decree of expulsion of doctors, and no one is willing to accept Xylulike's treatment. Because all the special medicines of Shiruluk not only can't cure people's diseases, but will make people's diseases worse. At present, Chopper should not have met Shirulik yet. Lin Mo was walking. Suddenly, a snow-white creature with a bear's body and a rabbit's head popped out from the nearby snow-covered woods, and it rushed towards him at an extremely fast speed. Labang is on Magnetic Drum Island. It is a ferocious carnivorous animal that likes to gather in groups. It is an animal that will never get close to people. When this lone Rabang was about to catch Lin Mo with its sharp claws. Lin Mo didn't respond yet. A black figure suddenly appeared, and with a burst of sword light and sword shadow, this Labang was beaten to the ground less than 1 meter behind Lin Mo. Lin Mo, are you alright? Luo asked panting. Lin Mo paused and looked back at him. Looks like he didn't tell this guy his name. Seeing Lin Mo's doubts, Luo continued, it was the owner of the hotel where you stayed who told me. Because the name was registered before staying in the hotel owner knew Lin Mo's name. Really big mouth. Forget it, if you know it, you will know it. Lin Mo ignored Luo and continued walking forward. Seeing Lin Mo leaving, Luo immediately followed, and asked as he walked, the townspeople said that day that you can use thaumaturgy to heal people. Is it true? Lin Mo ignored him. Luo Bui continued, the purpose of my coming to Magnetic Drum Island is to learn more advanced medical skills. I am very interested in your thaumaturgy that can heal people. Can you teach me? No. Lin Mo opened his mouth and refused directly. Luo was stunned, and continued to follow Lin Mo unconvinced. I know you don't have to teach me medical skills, but I have reasons to learn more advanced medical skills. Luo touched his heart and said solemnly, I won't let important people die in front of me again. If I had strong enough medical skills at that time, maybe Corazon wouldn't have died. As he said that, Luo couldn't help shaking. Every time he thought of the scene of Corazon's death in front of his eyes, he couldn't control himself with sadness. Form single isolated. It seemed as if the wind could blow him down if it was stronger. Lin Mo did not respond to Luo's words. He had nothing to respond to either. Even if he really intends to teach Luo medical skills, it's useless. The palm fairy technique he knows requires the use of chakras ninjutsu, and there is no chakra in the human body of pirate world. Therefore, Luo will never learn palm fairy art. Lin Mo continued to walk forward. Luo silently stared at Lin Mo's back, thought for a while, and chased after him. Lin Mo, are you really unwilling to teach me medical skills? Lin Mo said speechlessly, yes. Luo frowned slightly. Why? Just as Luo Gang finished asking why, there were suddenly a lot of cries of "Chi-chi" from the surrounding woods. Several nimble figures shuttled back and forth between the woods, and with a few swishes, a group of ferocious Rabang surrounded Lin Mo and Luo. Laban is a very protective pack animal. Obviously, this group of Rabang came to avenge Rabang who was defeated by Luo just now. Luo stared heavily at the group of Rabangs who were ready to go, as if they were about to tear them apart in the next second. Lin Mo, I will protect you. Luo tightened the knife in his hand. If he was dealing with a few Labangs, Luo was still confident that he could beat them. But if the opponent is a group of Labang, it will be tricky. It's a good time to try out the ability I have acquired recently. Luo immediately freed up a hand, room. Immediately afterwards, a hemispherical transparent space suddenly appeared, framed all the surrounding Labang, including Lin Mo, together. Luo immediately took the knife, moved his body quickly in the room space, and slashed at the surrounding Labang. The Rabangs immediately moved in unison. Even though Luo can almost teleport faster than Labang in the room space, his power is not as strong as Laban. Slaughterhouse. Luo gritted his teeth tightly, and slashed at the nearest Labang, easily removing one of its arms. The broken arm fell to the ground, but there was not a drop of blood. Even the cut marks on the chopped-off Laban's body without its arms were extremely smooth, and not a single drop of blood flowed down. Slaughterhouse is an ability that can cut objects or creatures into several pieces and reassemble them within the range of Luo's control. The separated creatures will not die, suffer pain, or bleed. It can be said that this is a very powerful ability. But the premise is that Luo can hit the opponent. Laban, whose arm had been removed, immediately screamed and attacked Luo again after being surrounded for a short time. After seeing Luo Kite's ability, the other Rappans all became smarter. When Luo was about to cut off the other arm of Rabang, who had removed his arm before, several Rabangs suddenly appeared behind Luo. With a few slaps, Luo was sent flying. After taking a mouthful of ice scum, Luo angrily got up from the snow, just as he was about to continue fighting. Several Labangs stared at Lin Mo, jumped up from all around, and rushed towards Lin Mo at the same time. Be careful, Luo yelled. Lin Mo stared speechlessly at the Rappans who were rushing towards him in midair, pulled out the 3 generations of ghosts, and with the help of Shunpo, his figure flickered, and in just an instant, the Rabans who were trying to attack him all flew out backwards. Seeing their companions being killed, the rest of the Rabangs showed their sharp minions without saying a word, roaring and rushed towards Lin Mo at the same time. Lin Mo snorted coldly, and in front of Luo, when the group of Rabang approached, he stabbed again, and all Rabang stopped immediately. Lin Mo slowly put the 3-generation ghost into the sheath, and when it was fully sheathed, there was a bang sound, and all the standing Labang fell to the ground at the same time. Luo stared blankly at Lin Mo. Okay, that's amazing. Lin Mo walked past Mandalabang's body indifferently, and continued to walk forward. Swallowing secretly, Luo hurriedly released the room space, and caught up with Lin Mo again without saying a word. For the next time, Luo followed Lin Mo all the time, but didn't bother him anymore. Although he wanted to ask Lin Mo where he was going. But he knew that even if he asked, the other party would definitely ignore him, so it would be more practical to just follow him and see where he was going and what he was going to do. Walking in the snow, still facing the wind of sleet, the speed would be affected, and Lin Mo didn't bother to care whether Luo followed him or not, as long as he didn't bother him. With the help of knowledge, Lin Mo discovered several directions where deer herds were moving. Several batches of reindeer were found, but no sign of Chopper was found. Seeing that the sky was about to darken, Lin Mo turned back and returned to Kekewake town. Luo followed him all day. Although he didn't know what Lin Mo was going to do, but through Lin Mo's activities all day, it can be inferred that Lin Mo must be looking for someone. No, it should be looking for a certain reindeer. Before returning to the hotel, Lin Mo randomly found a restaurant to have a meal, then went to a convenience store, bought a lot of food and drinks before returning to the hotel. When he got to the hotel room, he put all the food and drinks into the system space. Next 2 months, Lin Mo would get up early every day and go out to find Chopper, come back at night, and then save food. After 2 months of hard work, the system space has finally been filled. At the same time, one morning, when he was about to go out to look for Chopper, a few steps out of the hotel, a few men with shotguns hurried to the back of the town on the side street. "Have you heard? That snowman has appeared again." "Snowman? Is that the human-like blue-nosed monster?" "Yes, it's that monster. Ah, it's really disgusting. I heard that he went to the next town a while ago, and it seems that he was injured by the people in the next town. I guess he's healed up now, so he's here to take revenge." "Ah, even if the monster wants revenge, he will go to the next town to seek revenge from those who injured him." "What are you doing in our town?" On the street, the townspeople were talking about it. Lin Mo frowned slightly, and immediately turned around, heading towards the direction where the monster that the group of people said was located. He was sure that the monster the townspeople were talking about was the Chopper he had been looking for these past 2 months. Luo came out of the hotel as usual. He heard all the conversations of the townspeople, but he didn't have time to think about it. Seeing that Lin Mo was chasing the group of men with guns away, Luo immediately chased after them. Soon, Lin Mo and Luo rushed to the back of the town, in front of a pine forest. The townspeople with guns raised their guns and pointed their guns at the big guy who was hiding behind a pine tree at the moment. "Get out of here! Go away, big monster! Go away!" The townspeople shouted angrily at Chopper, who was hiding behind a pine tree. Chopper's current appearance is transformed into a half-human with the fluff above the chest and a blue nose through the ability of the human fruit. Even though they were hundreds of meters away, and the wind and snow blocked his view, Lin Mo could still see the countless scars on Chopper's body clearly. "Is that the snowman that the townspeople are talking about?" Luo's voice suddenly sounded. "I have read the description of snowman in a book. The snowman should be a very vicious ape-like creature, but this guy looks a little they are not vicious, and even their appearance is different from what is described in the book. Did the townspeople misunderstand it?" Lin Mo turned to look at him. At the same time, a shot rang out. One of the townspeople with a gun pointed the trigger directly at Chopper. Chopper took 2 steps back in fear. Lin Mo dodged, and appeared in front of Chopper in the blink of an eye. He raised his hand and grabbed it, crushing the flying bullets. The fact that Lin Mo crushed the bullet shocked everyone present. It took a long time for people to react. "Huh, isn't that the kid who saved Lao Xing's daughter? When did he come here? He actually crushed the bullet. How is this possible? Can normal people do such a thing? It's scary. Who the hell is that kid? Even if he has the strength to crush bullets, why did he save Shui Nan? I'm afraid he's crazy." Lin Mo didn't bother to talk to this group of people, and looked back at Chaoba, who was crumbling because of the injuries on his body. Although, it doesn't matter if he doesn't care about Chopper. According to the normal plot, Chopper will not die just because he is shot a few times by humans. It can be seen that Jobana's eyes are more sad and desperate than the pain on his body because his heart was broken by human beings. Lin Mo still couldn't hold back his compassion. "Run away," Lin Mo said lightly. Although there is not much emotion in his tone, it is very meaningful to Chopper, who has been bullied and hurt by deer and humans since he was a child. This human being is different from everyone else. This is what Chopper is thinking at the moment. Until the gunfire rang out again. Someone came around and tried to hit Chopper. Lin Mo raised his hand, grabbed the bullet flying towards Chauba again, and crushed it. Chopper was frightened and reflexively took 2 steps back. Lin Mo looked back at him again. Run. Chopper didn't speak, and immediately spread his legs and ran into the pine forest. At the same time, in Lin Mo's mind, the system's notification sounded. Didi, help Chopper out of danger and gain Chopper's favor. Sign in progress plus 20%. Current total progress is 50%. Reward fairy ball skill level plus 1. Current fairy ball level is LV2. Single quote. In an instant, Lin Mo felt that his understanding of the fairy ball had deepened to a higher level. Thinking of the previous 2 months, he deliberately went to find Chopper and couldn't find it no matter how hard he searched. Fortunately, Chopper has delivered it to the door by himself. Sure enough, the completion of this sign-in task still depends on letting nature take its course. Thinking of this, Lin Mo didn't bother to chase Chopper anymore, turned a corner, walked past the group of people, and circled into the town. Hey, kid, do you know what you did just now? You actually let Schwanen go. Do you know how dangerous Schwanen is? That kind of monster is harmful to people alive. That's right, you shouldn't have saved that snowman. Since you are so powerful, why didn't you help us kill that monster? When Lin Mo passed by this group of people with guns, everyone complained. Lin Mo continued to walk forward speechlessly, not intending to pay attention to them. Luo, on the other hand, couldn't help shouting at those people, "Are you sure that guy just now is Yukio? Did he hurt you? Or did he do something bad?" Luo's few questions caught everyone's attention. After a moment of silence, the townspeople continued to complain in dissatisfaction. It didn't hurt us now. Do we have to wait for the monster to really hurt us before we can attack him? That's right. Even if he's not Yukio, he's still a monster with neither human nor ghost. In short, monsters are all inhuman bad guys. Even if you don't kill him, you can't let him into the town. Luo didn't expect this group of people to be so prejudiced against the guy who wasn't a snow boy at all. Luo clenched his teeth tightly, and couldn't help but continue. Have you communicated with him? Do you understand him? Do you really know what he wants, and will it hurt you? What is there to communicate with monsters? I think you kid is crazy, really. We don't have the time to learn about a monster. Once the monster gets close to us, maybe he will kill us right away. That's right, that monster is smart, and he even knows how to pretend to be pitiful to win our sympathy. HMPH, he really underestimated us. He still wants to lie to us with such a trick. It's so funny. I think it's you who are funny. Luo was furious. He knew that no matter what he said, he couldn't change the prejudice against Chopper in the hearts of these people. That being the case, it seems particularly stupid to be arguing with this group of ignorant and single-minded people here. Luo didn't want to say anything more to them, so he immediately turned around and chased after Lin Mo. From the time when Lin Mo blocked the bullet for Chopper, Luo guessed that the guy Lin Mo was looking for in the past 2 months was probably the little monster who wasn't Snowman. At that time, he was quite puzzled why the group of people said that about Chopper, but Lin Mo didn't say anything good for Chopper. Now he understands. Rather than wasting your tongue arguing with those frogs in the well, it's better to keep silent and say nothing. Anyway, the result cannot be changed. No matter how much it is said, it is useless. The above are all Luo's own conjectures. In fact, Lin Mo just simply didn't want to talk. Afterwards, the news that Lin Mo was able to crush bullets with his bare hands spread throughout Kekuit town. Lin Mo himself left Kekuit town and went to the small town near the pier. He hadn't been to a tavern for a long time, and he just took advantage of the time today to have a good drink. Walked for more than half an hour. Lin Mo arrived on Magnetic Drum Island, the only town with a tavern. When he stepped into the tavern, just like the first time I entered the tavern in Windmill Village and Frost Moon Village, I was laughed at by the drinkers in the tavern. Huh, why is there a kid here? This is a tavern, right? Kid, you went wrong, you want to buy juice and go to the convenience store next door, ha ha ha. Look, There are 2 swords and a gourd hanging around his waist. Is that a wine gourd? Or a gourd for juice? Ha ha ha. Little ghost, this is not the place for you to come, go home quickly, ha ha ha. Lin Mo completely ignored the ridicule of these people, came to the U-shaped bar of the tavern, sat on a high stool in front of the bar skillfully, and grabbed a handful of Baileys before the tavern owner planned to follow suit and tell him to go home, placed directly on the bar. The tavern owner was taken aback. Lin Mo said blankly, have a glass of your best wine. Ah, okay. The tavern owner immediately put away the Bailey that Lin Mo put on the table. For him, money is a customer, no matter whether he is an adult or a kid. Soon, the tavern owner brought Lin Mo a glass of still bubbling wine. As soon as Lin Mo took a sip, Luo chased him in. Sure enough, I'm here to drink. Luo sat down in the empty seat next to Lin Mo, stared at him, and said speechlessly, you look younger than me, how can you drink so well? Lin Mo ignored him and continued drinking. When he finished the whole glass of wine, he took out a handful of Baileys and asked the boss to have another glass. The door of the tavern was suddenly pushed open hastily. A man wearing a big dark blue jacket rushed in and said anxiously, it's not good, something happened in Kekewait town next door. What's going on? What happened to Kekewait town? Say it quickly, Ah Jian. Could it be that Walpo's guards are here to make trouble again? Now, except for his doctors on the island, all other doctors have been expelled from the island. What else does he want? There was a lot of discussion. When the letter came, the man named Ah Jian said out of breath, they are indeed members of the guards, but their purpose is not to catch the doctor, but for a brat. Huh, brat, what brat? What does this guy Walpo want to do? Could it be that he suddenly thought of some bad rules? The new regulations have not yet come down. I heard that during this time, he has been looking for a kid who can crush bullets with his bare hands. Jian continued, just now, it was reported in Kekewait town that there was a kid who wanted to save Shuanan. The fact that a few bullets were crushed, the king's guards went to Kekewait town after hearing the news. Ah, is there really a kid who can crush bullets? Are you lying? No, what I said is absolutely true. Ah Jian said seriously, I heard that the guards didn't find the kid, so they took away the hotel owner where the kid was staying, and returned to him. Put it bluntly, tell the kid to go to the castle to find them, or the hotel owner will be killed. My God, is what you said true? The hotel owner is too miserable. By the way, what are the characteristics of that kid? Well, let me think about it. Ah Jian thought for a while, by the way, that brat seems to be only a few years old, with 2 swords hanging on his waist and a wine gourd. Wait, are you sure the brat you're talking about is the one the king's guards are looking for? Ah Jian looked confused. I'm sure, what's wrong? All the drinkers in the tavern looked at Lin Mo who was drinking at the bar at the moment. One of them couldn't help swallowing, raised his finger to Lin Mo, and asked, the brat you're talking about, could it be him? Ah Jian looked at Lin Mo, stunned for a moment, and then exclaimed, huh. That's right, it's him, why is he here? Oh, it looks like you're going to become a celebrity. Luo said with a smile that wasn't a smile. Lin Mo calmly drank the remaining half of the second glass. The whole tavern fell silent. Everyone watched him silently. Lin Mo put his hand into his pocket. Everyone gasped involuntarily. Then, Lin Mo grabbed a handful of Baileys again, handed his empty wine gourd to the tavern owner, and said in a flat tone, fill up the wine just now. The tavern owner was stunned for a moment, and quickly took the money and the wine gourd. Luo couldn't help chuckling. Questions immediately sounded in the tavern. Is it really this brat? Ah Jian, do you remember wrongly? This kid doesn't look like anything special, but he does seem to hold a good amount of alcohol. You must have misremembered. If it's really this little brat, he came all the way from Kekewait town through the wind and snow. He couldn't just come for a drink, right? That's right, Lin Mo really came here to drink. This point, I am afraid that Luo is the only person present who knows. The tavern owner filled up Lin Mo's drink. Lin Mo hung the wine gourd on his waist, jumped off the high stool, and was about to leave the tavern. Seeing that he was leaving, Luo followed immediately. The other drinkers in the tavern watched Lin Mo leave with different expressions. After leaving the tavern, Lin Mo didn't stay in this town for long, and walked directly to the castle where Walpo was. Are you really going to save that boss? Luo asked as he walked beside Lin Mo. Lin Mo ignored him. Luo continued. I thought you would just sit back and do nothing. You look unkind and unreasonable. In fact, you are much gentler than those guys who can only talk and argue. Lin Mo. Lin Mo was speechless for a while. Did this guy misunderstand something? Indeed, he could have ignored the hotel owner who had been taken away. But when he stayed in the hotel, he paid a deposit. If the hotel owner really died, who would refund him the deposit? Although there are only dozens of Baileys, it is enough to buy several bottles of wine. What's more, during the 2 months of staying in the hotel, seeing that he was staying alone, the owner of the hotel would often tell him to be careful when going out. Seeing that he likes to drink, he would give him some homemade wine from time to time. In short, this boss is not bad. Right and wrong, Lin Mo could see clearly. Just take it as the tavern owner's care for him in the past 2 months, he will not refuse to save him. To put it bluntly, he just repays what he has, so how can he be gentle? Valbar's castle is on a high mountain in the shape of a magnetic drum. To go up the mountain, there are several specific cableways. Just as the guards were about to send a wave of supplies up the mountain, they saw 2 children approaching not far away. One of the guards shouted at Lin Mo and Luo, "This is not a place for you brats to come, go home." Lin Mo and Luo didn't retreat because of the guard's words. Soon, the 2 arrived at the location of the cable car. The guard originally wanted to reprimand Lin Mo and Luo. The companion next to him pulled him down, and pointed to the sword and wine jug hanging on Lin Mo's waist in a flustered expression. He seems to be the brat His Majesty Walpo is looking for. What? The guard looked at Lin Mo again, his expression froze suddenly. Huh. It seems to be really him. It doesn't seem like he is the person you were looking for, Luo said with a corner of his mouth. The 2 guards couldn't help but took half a step back. Lin Mo was too lazy to talk nonsense with them, and walked directly into the cable car up the mountain. Luo followed closely behind. The 2 guards looked at each other, immediately started the cable car, and sent a signal to their companions on the mountain. When Lin Mo and Luo arrived at the top of the mountain, they were greeted by a group of heavily armed guards. Leading in front of this group of guards was a sturdy man in a big green jacket with a Chinese character face. The man's name was Dalton. He is the captain of the guards of the Magnetic Drum Kingdom, a person with the ability of the cow fruit of the animal department, and can change into the appearance of a cow man by activating his ability. In Lin Mo's impression, this man named Dalton is a friendly, honest person. In fact, Dalton has always been displeased with Walpo's tyranny. Later, because of some things, he resolutely stood up to resist Walpo, but was defeated and was imprisoned. It was not until Walpo went to see that he was rescued by the villagers. Then, after Luffy and others passed through the Magnetic Drum Kingdom and helped him completely defeat Walton, surrounded by the people, he became the king of the Sakura Kingdom after the renamed Magnetic Drum Island. However, the current Dalton is just a puppet controlled by Walpo. No matter how much Dalton resists in Walpo's order, he will still follow the order. Seeing that there were 2 children coming down from the cable car, Dalton couldn't help but frown, and turned to look at his subordinates. Are you making a mistake? These 2 children really have the potential to threaten the kingdom. Ability. Report to the captain, the information is correct, it is this kid with 2 swords, who has the ability to threaten the kingdom. One of Dalton's men stood up straight and answered respectfully. What about the kid in the hat? Dalton pointed to Luo and asked. His subordinates shook their heads unanimously, expressing that they did not know where Luo came from. Dalton was silent for a moment. In fact, he didn't want to arrest Lin Mo and Luo. After all, he has never seen Lin Mo's ability with his own eyes, and he is not sure whether Lin Mo really has the strength to crush bullets. Not long after Walpo took office as the king of the Magnetic Drum Kingdom, he had already enacted many unequal regulations that made the people living in the Magnetic Drum Kingdom complain. As long as there is anything that is unfavorable to Walpo, no matter whether it is a person or something else, Walpo will order that the troubles be eradicated immediately. Even if the child had no intention of destroying Drum Island or fighting against him, Walpo would still order the child to be expelled or killed. Let's go, you 2, leave Drum Island right now, I can assure you that the hotel owner is safe. Dalton still couldn't bear to attack the 2 children. Luo looked directly at Lin Mo. Lin Mo walked forward in silence. The surrounding guards immediately pointed their guns at Lin Mo. Lin Mo ignored them and walked past Dalton. Luo smiled, and immediately followed Lin Mo, and walked with him to the castle not far away. Dalton followed Lin Mo past him in a daze, and turned his body towards the castle, looking at the backs of Lin Mo and Luo. And his men, holding their guns, followed Lin Mo and Luo at a distance of about 2 meters. Until Lin Mo came to the gate of the castle. The castle gate was pushed open from inside. A fat, ugly man with dark purple hair, a large mouth, a cylindrical tin plate attached to his chin, and a white hooded cape made of Deccan tin, sitting on a fat, looking a little silly, a hairy hippopotamus named Robson, surrounded by many soldiers, appeared at the gate of the castle. This man is the current tyrannical king of Drum Island, Valpo. Walpo, nicknamed White Iron, is a Superman with the ability to swallow fruits. He can use the fruit ability to eat anything, and the things he eats can become part of his body or synthesize new things. He can even eat himself, and then spit it out after eating, and he will become thinner. The ability to swallow fruit is actually very strong, if the ability to develop and utilize this fruit is quite powerful. It's a pity that no matter how powerful the fruit is, it's a waste if the user is too useless. Huh, why are there 2 brats here? Walpo sat on Robson's back, looked at Lin Mo and Luo arrogantly, didn't bother to distinguish who could threaten him, and said directly, "Ahahaha, it doesn't matter who you are, anyway, you don't even think about leaving here when you're here." Walpo clapped his hands suddenly. His men pushed out the hotel owner with his hands tied behind his back. "Stinky boy, if you don't want this guy to die, just stand there obediently and don't move." Walpo said viciously, "Come on, kill those 2 brats for me, ahahaha, as long as they die, there will be no one in the country who can resist me anymore, ahahaha." Seeing that Lin Mo really came, the hotel owner said anxiously, "Little devil, run away and leave me alone, you are too young to die here." Lin Mo stared at Walpo expressionlessly. Walpo's men immediately surrounded Lin Mo and Luo Tuan. Dozens of guns were pointed at him. Luo Wei hooked the corner of his mouth, raised his hand to create a room, and covered everyone around them in it. "You don't need to make a move, I can take care of these guys." Just after Luo just finished speaking, he disappeared in a flash. Walpo's guards all stared wide-eyed. Huh, where's the person? Where did that kid in the hat go? Why did it suddenly disappear? Just when everyone was astonished, Luo suddenly appeared behind several of them, and directly used his own knife to kill the arms and legs of these people. "Ah, my hands, my legs. It's over, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. I'm still alive. Oh my god, monster. This brat is a monster, run away." The rest of the people who hadn't been chopped down hurriedly spread their legs and ran out. But they are still in Luo's room space, and in terms of speed, they are absolutely inferior to Luo. Before the group of fleeing people were about to run out of the room space, Luo caught up with them. All the guards, except for those who were not in the room space, were all cut into several pieces by Luo and scattered around land, but they are still alive. Huh, Walpo's eyes bulged in shock. What kind of ability is this? It's so powerful. HMPH. Luo chuckled. Don't worry, the next one to be dismembered will be you. Luo expanded the room space to include Walpo in it. With a flash, he appeared in front of Walpo. Walpo turned pale with fright. Before he had time to run, he was chopped into countless pieces by Luo. "Ah, Your Majesty, are you all right?" Walpo's subordinates shouted anxiously. Luo smiled lightly, and returned to Lin Mo. "These useless guys are really vulnerable." Lin Mo walked forward in silence. At this time, Dalton used the Niu fruit to turn into a black cow and stood in front of Lin Mo and Luo. "I don't want to attack you, but my identity is the captain of the guard. Even if the king of this country is incompetent, I can't let you hurt him." Dalton said with a sullen face, "You two, leave now immediately this country, don't force me to do anything to you." Lin Mo didn't stop because of Dalton's words. Just like when I just came up from the mountain. Lin Mo ignored Dalton's words and continued walking. Until about to pass Dalton. Dalton immediately roared, even if he didn't want to, he had to make a move. Dalton rushed towards Lin Mo suddenly, trying to knock Lin Mo away with a powerful impact. When he was close, Lin Mo easily dodged Dalton's many attacks. When he was less than 3 meters away from the hotel owner, Dalton was still attacking him persistently. Lin Mo raised his hand, and when he got close again, he hit Dalton's chest with one blow, sending him flying more than 10 meters away. The armed color on his hands slowly faded away. Lin Mo came to the guards carrying the hotel owner. He hasn't said anything yet. The guard was so frightened that his legs trembled. He unconsciously let go of the end of the hemp rope tied to the hotel owner, and took several steps back. Lin Mo indifferently untied the hemp rope that bound the hotel owner. After regaining his freedom, the expression on the hotel owner's face was quite rich. You, Lin Mo, you actually knocked the captain of the guard Dalton away with one blow. My God, are they telling the truth? Yes, are you really that good? The hotel owner's shock did not shake Lin Mo at all. On the contrary, the guards of the Magnetic Drum Kingdom showed exaggerated expressions one by one. What is he doing? Luo suddenly noticed that Walpo, who had been chopped into several sections by him just now, was actually eating his own sectioned body, and a sense of disgust arose spontaneously. So this guy is also a capable person, really nausea. Lin Mo had known about Walpo's ability a long time ago, so he was not surprised at all that Walpo ate himself. Walpo has the ability to swallow fruit. The hotel owner said worriedly, everything he eats will become a part of his body. If he eats all the weapons present, you will be in danger. Hurry up, Lin Mo and Luo, you two hurry up, there is still time to leave here. HMPH. None of you can run away. Walpo had already eaten up all the remains of his body, and spit out a thinner version of himself than before from a big tin bucket, and then picked it up to be guarded. The soldiers scattered the guns on the ground and ate them directly. Luo frowned. His rune space has not been released yet. In the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of Walpo again, about to chop him down. Walpo fused the few guns he had just eaten into a muzzle similar to a rocket launcher, and popped out from his chest. The moment Luo's knife cut it down, a bullet with extremely powerful attack directly rubbed against Luo. Cheeks flew out. This blow could have hit Luo. Fortunately, Luo reacted quickly and avoided it in time. Luo frowned, and continued to slash at Walpo. While Walpo was eating the weapons around him, more muzzles appeared in his body, as if he had infinite bullets, and countless bullets crackled towards Luo. Although it is difficult to hit Luo in the rune space, similarly, it is not easy for Luo to get close to Walpo now. At this time, in the castle, Walpo's men came out pushing a few cannons. Walpo immediately jumped to the cannon and began to eat the cannon bit by bit. Hey, those two little monsters are finished. As long as His Majesty Valpo is serious, it will be quite powerful. Ha ha ha, I'm sweating a little bit for those two brats. It would be nice if I ran away earlier, but now I can't run away even if I want to. Ha ha ha, I deserve it. The guards who came out pushing the cannon said mockingly. Robin wanted to finish off the cannon before Walpo had eaten it all. The results of it. Before he got close, more than N muzzles appeared on Walpo's body, and countless bullets flew out at the same time. Even in the rune space, Luo can completely teleport, but facing so many bullets, it is still a bit difficult for Luo, who has very little actual combat experience with fruit abilities. After all, he was only 14 years old. Seeing that he could not dodge and was about to be hit, Luo immediately flashed and appeared at the edge of the rune space, avoiding the risk of being hit. At the same time, Walpo had already eaten up the cannons pushed out by his men. Wiped his mouth. Walpo shifted his gaze to Lin Mo, who was less than 5 meters away from him at the moment. Stinky boy, I'll get rid of you first, and then I'll get rid of the guy in the hat, ah ha ha ha. Walpo laughed. The guards behind him also laughed extremely presumptuously. As for Lin Mo himself, he watched with a speechless face as Walpo turned his hands and the top of his head into muzzles of rocket launchers as if by magic, and then all the muzzles were aimed at him. Go to hell, ahahaha. Walpo laughed and attacked Lin Mo. Several shells of different sizes flew towards Lin Mo at the same time. The hotel owner was very frightened. Because of his fear, his legs shook so badly that he couldn't stand still and fell to the ground. At this moment, the hotel owner only has 3 words in his heart: it's over. Lin Mo, on the other hand, watched indifferently as the countless bullets got closer and closer to him. Amidst the wanton laughter of the crowd, only a few loud bangs were heard, and all the bullets hit Lin Mo. Thick smoke billowed everywhere. Everyone at the scene, except Luo, thought that Lin Mo and the hotel owner were finished. Not far away, Dalton, who was hit by Lin Mo, got up from the snow. As soon as he turned his head, he saw Lin Mo being hit by Walpo's attack, and a look of regret and self-blame appeared on his face. Ha ha ha, that kid must be dead. I really overestimated my strength. I didn't run away when I saw the bullets coming. I think he was too scared to run. Ha ha ha, he deserves it, he really deserves it. Your Majesty Walpo, quickly get rid of that kid in the hat. We are too uncomfortable in this state. If you get rid of him, maybe we can get back to how we were. The guards shouted loudly. Walpo smirked and faced Luo. Boy, it's your turn, ahahaha, go to hell. Hey, Luo suddenly sneered. Before Walpo launched an attack, he couldn't help but frown when he heard Luo's sneer. What are you laughing at? Luo chuckled and said, do you really think that just this tickling attack can kill Lin Mo? What? Walpo immediately looked in the direction where Lin Mo was just now. The thick smoke from the explosion gradually dissipated, and a radiant golden dome slowly appeared in front of everyone. Huh, what's that? Walpo asked in surprise. Lin Mo lifted the fairy ball. When everyone saw Lin Mo and the stunned hotel owner appearing in front of them safe and sound, everyone was shocked. Huh, are they all right? What's going on here? How could someone be able to stop His Majesty Walpo's attack? My God, what happened to that golden ball just now? Everyone was amazed. Walpo gritted his teeth and stared at Lin Mo, and aimed all his guns at Lin Mo again. Stinky boy, I want to see how many times you can escape my attacks. Lin Mo stared at him speechlessly. This guy is so annoying. Before Walpo attacked again, in order to leave here earlier, Lin Mo appeared in front of Walpo in a flash. Before Walpo had time to react, Lin Mo raised his leg and kicked Walpo hard in the stomach, directly smashing the muzzle protruding from his stomach with Yi Kai, and kicked it away in a beautiful parabola out. Ha, His Majesty Walpo, Your Majesty, we have come to rescue you. The few remaining men of Walpo who were not dismembered by Luo immediately chased after Walpo in the direction where Lin Mo kicked him away. Lin Mo turned around indifferently, and walked towards the cable car he came up from. When passing by the hotel owner, he said lightly, let's go. The hotel owner responded with a dazed expression, quickly got up from the ground, and followed Lin Mo staggeringly. When Luo was about to leave, he was stopped by Dalton. Dalton has returned to his original appearance. I know this request is too much, but my subordinates will only follow orders to deal with you. They are innocent. Please help them restore their original appearance. Luo glanced at the mutilated wreckage, but still alive, and said with a sneer, are you teaching me how to do things? Didi, fight against White Iron Valpo and gain the favor of the guard Captain Dalton. Sign in progress plus 20%, current total progress is 70%, reward iron level plus 1, current iron level is LV3. Single quote. As soon as Lin Mo walked to the cable car on the edge of the cliff, a system notification sounded in his mind. Lin Mo has long been accustomed to this inexplicable trigger to complete the sign in progress task. So, he wasn't too surprised, and got on the cable car naturally. The hotel owner followed closely behind. Luo, on the other hand, did not immediately follow. Dalton stopped in front of Luo, his eyes full of grief. I know, this country is hopeless, no matter how much I can't understand Walpo's actions, as long as I am the captain of the guard for one day, I have to be strict carry out what I should do. I know that you don't need to help my subordinates get back to normal when we were opponents just now, but everyone attacked you out of necessity. We are the citizens of the Magnetic Drum Kingdom. If I don't obey the current King Walpo, I'll die, but I don't need to say more about their fate, you should be able to guess. Without much hesitation, Dalton immediately plopped and knelt down in the snow. Just take it as me begging you, let my men return to their original state, it doesn't matter if you want to kill me, I won't fight back of. Captain, you actually knelt down for our opponents, woohoo. Captain, you are too kind to us. Captain, woo. Captain, get up quickly. Team leader. There was sobbing all around. They are all adults, but they all cry like children. The corner of Luo's mouth twitched slightly, and he didn't want to care about it. But the crying of this group of people made him upset and irritable. At this time, the hotel owner who was already on the cable car said something more for Dalton. Dalton is different from Walpo. He is actually not bad to us. Luo, if you can help those guys get back to their original state, you will be fine. Help them. It's too cold on this cable car. Hurry up. I'm fine. It's bad if Lin Modong catches a cold. Lin Mo. In fact, it was impossible for such a little wind to make him catch a cold. Luo was silent for a moment, then helped Dalton up. The expression was a little impatient, but he still opened his hand to release the room space again, and then used his ability to restore the group of people who had been dismembered into countless pieces to their original state at the fastest speed. Thank you so much, Dalton said gratefully. Luo waved his hand and walked directly towards the cable car without saying anything. When he got on the cable car, Dalton ordered someone to start the cable car and send them down the mountain. When the three of Lin Mo went down the mountain, thank you all the way from the hotel owner. Luo would return a few words to the hotel owner from time to time. Lin Mo didn't say a word the whole time, and he had nothing to say. When they passed a tree house, the door of the tree house was suddenly opened from inside. An old woman wearing a white crop top, a purple coat, and purple wide leg pants, with loose long hair, a wrinkled face, a tall and thin figure, looking very energetic, and holding a bottle of plum wine in her hand came out of it. When she saw the three of Lin Mo coming from the direction of Magnetic Drum Peak where the castle is located, the old woman took a sip from the wine bottle, then grinned and said, Hey, are you happy? Brats. Quote. Who is she? Luo asked strangely, not knowing this woman. Yes, it's a witch. The hotel owner saw a few drops of cold sweat on his forehead when he saw the old woman. The old woman smiled and asked, Do you want to know the secret of my eternal youth? The hotel owner quickly shook his head. No. I didn't ask this. Lin Mo stared at the person nicknamed the witch indifferently. Of course he knew who this woman was. Witch Kuleha, who should be 120 years old now, has excellent medical skills, but the fees are quite expensive. Kurha and the Quack Sharulik are the only two people on Drum Island who did not leave Drum Island because of Walpo's hunting order to expel the doctor. Therefore, the two of them will be hunted down by Walpo's men in the next few years. The most important thing is that Kurha became Chopper's teacher after Sharuluk's death, and passed on all the medical skills he had learned in his life to Chopper. Kuleha's eyes turned around between Lin Mo and Luo, and noticed the wine gourd hanging on Lin Mo's waist, so he turned his eyes on Lin Mo, stroked his chin and smiled softly. You are the one who recently it is said in these few towns that there is a kid who can use thaumaturgy similar to witchcraft to heal people. Lin Mo nodded calmly. Hey. Kurha took another sip of wine, wiped the corners of his mouth, and continued, Interesting, kid, I will tell you the secret of eternal youth. In exchange, you will give your strange witchcraft. How do you tell me the secret of healing people? How about it? Lin Mo. Not so good. Luo looked at the hotel owner speechlessly, and asked, Who is this old woman? Kurha's ears moved, and he took out a small scalpel and flew towards Luo. Luo raised his hand reflexively to catch it, and easily caught the scalpel thrown by Kuleha. This is a scalpel. Luo looked at the knife in his hand in surprise. I'm only 120 years old, Kurha said with the corner of her mouth hooked. The hotel owner pulled Luo and whispered, She is called Kuleha, and she can be regarded as a doctor in our Magnetic Drum Kingdom. Although her medical skills are very powerful, she has a strange temper. It depends on her mood to treat people, and the fee is very high. Everyone calls her a witch. Is her medical skill very good? Luo asked in surprise. The hotel owner nodded repeatedly. He is the oldest doctor in our kingdom. It is said that her medical skills have reached a state of perfection. I'm only in my 120s. Kurha flew over with a scalpel again, this time targeting the hotel owner. The innkeeper was taken aback. Originally, the scalpel wouldn't stab him, it would just wipe the hotel owner's face and fly away, but the owner couldn't stand still, and his body couldn't help turning to the side, and the scalpel flew directly to his forehead. Come over. Ah! The innkeeper exclaimed. With quick eyes and quick hands, Luo immediately raised his hand to grab the handle of the scalpel. The tip of the knife stopped less than 1 centimeter from the hotel owner's forehead. Hey, you were really lucky. Kurha smiled and continued to drink. At this time, a rough voice suddenly sounded. Kurha, I just researched a special medicine. Then, a man wearing a green sweater, a black coat, a black top hat, and carrying a black suitcase with a skull pattern, walked quickly from a distance against the wind and snow. When he saw that there were 3 more people in front of Kurha's wooden house, he couldn't help but froze. The man's eyes immediately shifted to the hotel owner. He quickly took out a small bottle of green reagent that was still bubbling from the suitcase, and trotted towards him excitedly. "Isn't this Boss Pak? I heard that you often catch colds. I happened to research a special medicine today. How about you drink it now and see how it feels?" "No, no, no, don't come here." Pork's face was covered with black lines. He stepped back again and again, shaking his head. "I don't want to die yet, don't come here." The man who is trying his best to promote the special medicine he just developed is the so-called quack Dr. Shiruluk. "Boss Poke, my special medicine will definitely work, just try it, I won't charge you." Hiruluk ran around chasing Poke with excitement on his face. Compared with Kurha, who has super high medical skills but charges expensive fees, although Hiruluk does not need money to see a doctor, his medical skills are simply a nightmare for the people of Magnetic Drum Island. And what this guy likes to do most is to study those messy special effects drugs. Those who have taken the specific medicine made by Xyluluk will not only not improve their condition, but will even make their condition worse. Therefore, even if the people on Magnetic Drum Island have no doctor to treat their illness, they are not willing to take the risk of letting Shiruluk treat them. "Hey, don't run away." Hiluluk chased Poke, and the two surrounded Linmo, Luo and Kuleha, chasing and running circles constantly. "What an idiot, hehehehe." Kurha continued to drink with a smile. Both Luo and Linmo had speechless faces. Not far away, behind a certain pine tree, the humanoid Chopper stood there, looking at Linmo and the others with longing and fear. He thought about it, but didn't dare. Sensing Chopper's gaze, Linmo turned to look at him. When Chopper saw Linmo looking over, he staggered and fell to the ground in fright. When he looked at Linmo in a panic and saw that the other party was still looking at him, he quickly jumped up from the ground, turned around twice, instinctively hid behind the pine tree, and then quietly looked at Linmo again. Seeing that Linmo seemed to have discovered something, Luo followed his line of sight. When he saw Chopper hiding behind a tree not far away, a drop of cold sweat broke out on his forehead. "What is that guy doing? Why, only use a tree to cover half of your face, leaving the rest of your body exposed." "Hey." Chopper was shocked when he heard Luo's voice. Then, in front of Luo and Linmo, he slowly hid his body exposed outside the tree behind the tree, and then walked out from behind the tree. "Show half of your face." Luo said speechlessly. "So, what the hell is that guy doing? We've already found him. Why are you hiding? By the way, he's the guy you've been looking for all along." Luo looked at Linmo and asked. Linmo smiled without saying a word. At this time, Kuleha and others also discovered Chopper. Hiruluk and Kurha are fine. On the other hand, Pak, the hotel owner, saw Chopper, and immediately showed an expression on his face that was more terrified than when he met Hiluluk. Is that guy the snowman that has been rumored in the town recently? Ah, where is this monster watching? As soon as Chopper heard the word monster, the fear and restlessness in his eyes immediately replaced the previous nervousness and caution. Seeing that Chopper was not in a good state, Luo was about to tell Poke to stop talking. Hiruluk was one step ahead of him and stood in front of Chopper. "Poke, stop talking, can't you see, that kid is very fragile now, he is not a monster." Poke was taken aback. Hiruluk immediately turned to Chopper and walked towards him slowly. "Don't be afraid, I won't hurt you." Chopper stared blankly at Shiruluk. Suddenly, Hiruluk accidentally fell to the ground. The suitcase in his hand fell to the ground, and the box opened, and a tranquilizer gun fell out of it. As soon as Chopper saw the gun, he immediately ran away into the pine forest in shock. Hiruluk quickly got up from the ground, ignoring his own box, and chased in the direction that Chopper was running. "Don't run, it's just a gun for anesthesia, I have no malice towards you, really, won't hurt you." He really went after the snow boy. Hiruluk is crazy. Pak looked at the back of Hiruluk running away with an ugly face. Kurha took a sip of his wine and laughed loudly. Hey, what a meddling quack. "Ah, is it okay for that strange man to chase that guy?" Luo looked at Linmo and asked. Originally, he thought that Linmo would chase after him too. Linmo smiled lightly. "It's okay. In his memory, it should be another year or two before Chopper and Shirulik meet. But even if we meet in advance now, it's not a big problem. Although Shiruluk is regarded by many people as a quack doctor who is not good enough and a rat shit that ruined a pot of soup, he is one of the very few in the Drum Kingdom who has no racial discrimination and has a heart that wants to save the world and the country. A kind person with a confused heart. He can teach Chopper many principles of life, and he can also guide Chopper to the right path of life. He may not be a good doctor, but he is a good life mentor. Luo looked at Lin Mo strangely and didn't ask any more questions. Kuleha also looked at Lin Mo. Although Lin Mo only said 2 words just now, she felt inexplicably that this kid seemed to know Halulik and the little blue-nosed monster very well. Little devil, what's your name? Kuleha asked Lin Mo with a half-smile. Lin Mo. Lin Mo replied lightly. Hey. Kurha asked with a smile while drinking. I haven't seen you before, is this the first time you've come to Magnetic Drum Island? Lin Mo responded indifferently. Yes. Then you know that stupid quack doctor. No. Lin Mo stared at Kurha strangely. What did she ask this for? That's weird. Kurha took another sip of wine and continued. Looking at your attitude and tone just now, it seems that you have known that quack doctor for a long time. Lin Mo's personality is originally the type that is calm and doesn't like to communicate with others. Luo said directly, neither he nor I are from the Magnetic Drum Kingdom, and in the past 2 months, I have followed him wherever he went. If he knowing that strange man, how could I not know? That's right. Poke nodded and replied, I can prove this. Both of them have lived in my hotel for more than 2 months. They go out at about the same time every day, and then come back at about the same time. Kuleha, you must have made a mistake. Lin Mo is from an outer island, so how could he know Shirulik? Oh, yes, in the town, when everyone is chatting, they will occasionally mention the quack Dr. Shirulik. Even if Lin Mo knows that guy, he probably heard everyone mention it, so he has an impression. Kuleha raised his eyebrows, and then laughed loudly. Hey, so that's the case, then I really misunderstood this brat. Hey, kid, let me ask you a question, what do you think of Drum Kingdom? Lin Mo. Kurha suddenly asked what is this for? Lin Mo said speechlessly, it's not very good. Hey. Kurha continued to drink, turned to Luo and asked, what about you, what do you think of Drum Kingdom? HMPH, what else can I do? My position is the same as that of Lin Mo's. Luo snorted disdainfully, and continued, with such a king in power, this country will come to an end sooner or later. Robin is not a timid person, so there is nothing he dares to say. But what he said scared the hotel owner Poke very much. Hush, Poke looked around, approached Luo, and whispered, although Walpo was beaten away by you just now, as long as he is still alive, as long as he is still the king of the Drum Kingdom, we, the subjects, you can't disobey him. You and Lin Mo are not from the Magnetic Drum Kingdom. Sooner or later, you will leave here. Before you leave, you should avoid causing trouble, otherwise it will easily implicate other people. Hey, after all, you are just afraid that they will hurt you. Kurha said with a smile, this country is sick, and no matter how hard the people living in this country are, no matter how hard they complain, no one dares stand up and resist. There is only a quack doctor who is useless and is driven and hated by you like a street rat every day. He foolishly thinks that his illusory experiment can change this dying country. You all call him a disaster or a magnetic drum, the rice moth of the kingdom, but such a bad person still wants to save you pedantic guys. Hey, how ridiculous. After finishing speaking, Kurha continued to drink. Poke listened to Kurha's words, his face turned blue and red. That kind of guy may not even be able to save himself, but he still wants to save others. Poke clenched his fists and said, if he really wants to save us, then don't study the kind that will only make people sick. Aggravated special medicine. Hey, that guy's medical skills are really bad. He also knows that the effect of the special medicine he made is not very good, but he has been insisting on it all the time, because he always believes that sooner or later, he will be able to create a medicine. A panacea that can cure all injuries. Although he has been failing all the time, he has always believed that nothing is impossible in this world. This guy, to another extent, is as hopeless as this country salvageable. No matter how bad his medical skills are, he is still a doctor. Luo Wei frowned and said, if there is really a panacea in this world that can cure all injuries, what do doctors need? Since he is doctor, it is impossible not to understand this truth. Kurha cast her eyes on Luo, that's why I said that he is a hopeless quack doctor. Even though he knew that there was no such medicine in the world, he still went to study it without hesitation. It's hard to find another idiot like him. Kid, judging by your tone, you also know how to do medicine. Luo slightly hooked the corner of his mouth, and said with a light smile, I'm still learning more advanced medical skills. Since you are the oldest doctor on Magnetic Drum Island, you must know a lot of medical knowledge. All the towns on Magnetic Drum Island, I have studied all the medical books I can find in the past 2 months, and I don't understand some of them. If you have time, can you teach me? Hey, why should I teach you? My medical skills are not something anyone can learn if they want to. Kid, get out of the way. Kuleha continued to drink, passed by Luo directly, and walked towards the nearest to the town. Luo frowned tightly, looking at the back of Kurha who was gradually walking away. Lin Mo could guess what Luo was thinking casually. Although in the past 2 months, no matter where he went, Luo would basically follow him, and Luo was very self-conscious and would not talk nonsense to quarrel him, but Lin Mo, who is used to being alone, is still a little bit embarrassed by the extra tail around him. Answer. Just right, now I have a chance to dump this guy. Lin Mo couldn't be more clear about Kuleha's character. Don't look at her mouth as very poisonous, and she looks unreasonable, she looks like a bad old woman. But these are just appearances. In fact, Kuleha has a sharp mouth and a bean-curd heart. He has his own set of principles when looking at people and doing things. He is a kind person who can distinguish right from wrong. Go, Lin Mo said lightly. Luo froze for a moment, then turned to look at Lin Mo. What did you say? Her medical skills are worth learning. Lin Mo said lightly, the opportunity is not to be missed, the time will never come, you have no time to hesitate. Although I don't like the old woman Kuleha very much, her medical skills are really top-notch. I think Lin Mo is right. The hotel owner Pak echoed, Luo, if you really want to learn more, it will be more useful. If you don't have the medical skills, go to Kurha before you leave Magnetic Drum Island. Luo hesitated for a while, struggling with his inner thoughts for a while, then clenched his fists, looked at Lin Mo, and said, then I'm going. Lin Mo chuckled and said, wherever you want to go is your freedom. Luo nodded, and then chased in the direction that Kurha was walking. Then let's go back to Kekewait town, Poke said with a relaxed face. At this time, Haluluk's voice came from the pine forest not far away. Is the old lady Kurhan gone? Seeing this, Poke hurried to grab Lin Mo's hand, but Lin Mo dodged it, caught nothing, was stunned, and Poke hurriedly said, Haluluk, a lunatic quack, is back, let's go quickly. Quote, hey, who are you calling a lunatic and quack doctor? Haluluk walked quickly with a displeased expression on his face. Behind him, followed by Chopper who had returned to the appearance of a little reindeer. Lin Mo stared at Chopper with a half-smile. Sure enough, Chopper was still moved by Shiruluk. Seeing that Lin Mo was looking at him, Chopper quickly hid behind Haluluk, also covering only half of his head, leaving his whole body outside. Seeing that Haluluk was coming, but Lin Mo didn't look like he was going to leave, Poke said hurriedly, I'll go first, and then ran to Kekewait town. This old fool. Haluluk couldn't help cursing, and then his eyes fell on Lin Mo. See Lin Mo looking behind him. Haluluk looked back and saw that Chopper was completely exposed, and said dumbfoundingly, Chopper, you're hiding the wrong way again. Quote exclamation mark quote. Chopper was shocked, quickly and slowly moved his body behind Haluluk, came out with half of his face exposed, and stared at Lin Mo. Haluluk shook his head with a smile, then looked at Lin Mo, and asked with a smile, I named this little guy Tony Chopper, isn't that a good name? Lin Mo nodded slightly. Haluluk laughed and said, that's great, Chopper, look, there are still many people who are not afraid of you and will not hurt you. This little brother is a good person at first glance. Don't hide, come out quickly. Chopper blinked, and carefully moved out from behind Haluluk. Then a faint blush appeared on his face, and he said happily but embarrassedly, well, it was in the morning, thank you. It's okay, Lin Mo replied calmly. The original smile on Haluluk's face froze suddenly, and he jumped to the side in surprise. Chopper, can you actually speak? Why didn't you speak just now? As soon as he finished asking, Halulik immediately realized another question. You two actually know each other. I thought Chopper didn't know anyone. What's going on? Halulik never expected that Chopper actually knew Lin Mo. He actually named Chopper on his own initiative. What if Chopper had a name in the first place? Then wouldn't he be superfluous? For a moment, Halulik blushed and said awkwardly, Chopper, that little reindeer, do you have a name? Chopper blinked, looked at Halulik, and suddenly smiled sweetly. No, I like the name Chopper very much, thank you, Dr. Halulik. Halulik was stunned for a moment, and then moved. You are the first guy to say thank you to me. You little reindeer is too cute. As he spoke, he exaggeratedly wiped away his tears. Chopper is relatively simple. Seeing Hiruruk crying, he quickly panicked. Dr. Hiruruk, are you okay? Don't cry. What should I do? I don't know what should I do. Ha ha ha. Seeing Chopper's flustered look, Halulik couldn't help but burst into tears. Chopper, I'm fine, I'm just too happy, you are such a kind-hearted little guy. Chopper was stunned for a moment, then rubbed the back of his head, and twisted his body on the spot with joy. Asshole, even if you praise me, I won't be happy. Ha ha ha. Halulik laughed loudly. The atmosphere at this time is very cheerful. Lin Mo is like a background board. Between Halulik and Chopper, the sense of existence is very weak. It seems that there is nothing wrong with him here. Lin Mo enjoyed the feeling of not being stared at, and was about to leave. With sharp eyes and quick feet, Chalba trotted up to Lin Mo, stepping on the footsteps with sound effects, staring at Lin Mo with a blushing face, and said happily, you are the first person who doesn't look down on me or be afraid of me, you still save me. For me, really thank you so much, that, benefactor, what's your name? When I grow up and have the ability, I will definitely repay you. Lin Mo looked at Chopper lightly, and refused, it doesn't matter what my name is, and I don't need you to repay your favor. Humans are not that scary, and monsters are not necessarily derogatory terms. In the future, you will meet more gentle people. Until then, just do what you're supposed to do. After finishing speaking, Lin Mo bypassed him and continued walking in the direction of Kekewait town. Chopper stared blankly at Lin Mo's back. Halulik came to Chopper's side, looked at Lin Mo's leaving figure with him, and said with a smile, Chopper, you really met a good person. Chopper asked cutely, Dr. Halulik, what did your benefactor mean just now? I didn't understand. Halulik replied with a smile. Actually, human beings are not as scary as you think. There are still many gentle people. Just like what the kid said, in the future, you will definitely meet more gentle people. Until then, don't be disappointed in humans, Chopper. Chopper nodded his head half understood, and asked again, what does the derogatory term mean? Chapter 71. A derogatory term, it means something bad. Halulik thought for a while, then continued, the word monster actually has many meanings, including bad and affirmative. You are still young. You may not understand what you said, but when you grow up, you will know the meaning of what that kid told you. Chopper nodded cutely, and turned his gaze to Lin Mo who had gone away again. I am still too weak now, Dr. Halulik, will I be eligible to repay my favor when I become more useful and powerful? Halulik looked at Chopper, and suddenly felt distressed. Chopper, you can't think like that kid doesn't need you to repay his kindness, and he didn't say that because he thought you were weak. I know, Chopper said with a smile, even if it's not for repayment, I have to become stronger. Only when I become stronger can I protect what I want to protect. Dr. Halulik, please teach me medical skills. Quote. Lin Mo just left not long ago. In my mind, the system's notification sounded. Didi, become a role model for Chopper and be affirmed by the quack Dr. Halulik. The sign in progress plus 20%, the current total progress is 90%, and the new skill entry level yin healing is rewarded. Single quote. Yin heals wounds. Before Lin Mo had time to think about it, information about yin healing and mitigating appeared in his mind. This is a kind of medical ninjutsu in Naruto, which can minimize the damage that can be received by knowing the attacking part of the enemy in advance and healing it before the enemy attacks. To use this kind of ninjutsu, you must first have the ability to accurately predict the opponent's attack and then make an instant judgment. This is not difficult for Lin Mo, who has already mastered the color of knowledge, and it is also a good auxiliary skill. Lin Mo guessed that there might be a progress increase because of Xyluluk, but he didn't expect to be able to increase by 20.00%. In short, Lin Mo is quite satisfied with the progress. There are still 10% left, and it is estimated that it will be soon. Without thinking about it, Lin Mo continued to walk towards Kekewate town. When he arrived in town, as soon as the townspeople saw him, they deliberately backed away as if they had seen something terrifying, with defensive expressions on their faces. No need to ask, Lin Mo can roughly guess that it should have something to do with the fact that Walpo sent guards to the town to look for him in the morning. Anyway, it's fine, as long as these people don't bother him. Lin Mo completely ignored the terrified and defensive gazes of these people, and went straight back to Poke's hotel. As soon as he entered the door, Poke called him over with an ugly face. Lin Mo, come here, I have something to tell you. Lin Mo walked towards him. Poke immediately whispered. The guards found Walpo, who was seriously injured. Under the treatment of Dr. 20, Walpo has recovered. Doctors 20 is the only 20 doctors Walpo left to serve him. Lin Mo said indifferently, so what? Seeing that Lin Mo is like a person who has nothing to do with himself, Poke is almost dying of anxiety. Why are you not worried at all? Walpo has ordered you to be arrested across the country, and anyone who takes you in will be sentenced to death. I know it's not good to let you check out at this time, but I also have a family to take care of, so I can't drag my family. Oh, let's go then. Lin Mo said indifferently. Poke was stunned. Don't you hate me? Lin Mo shook his head. It's okay. Poke quickly took out the deposit that Lin Mo had paid before. This is your deposit. No need, Lin Mo said calmly, just give me another jar of your home-brewed wine. Poke quickly brought out 2 jars of wine from under the counter. Lin Mo accepted it unceremoniously, and then left the hotel directly with the 2 jugs of wine in his arms. Just left the hotel for a few minutes. A group of heavily armed guards immediately ran towards Lin Mo and surrounded him. The residents of the town quickly hid for fear of being affected. Ha 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 ha, brat, let me see where you are going this time. An arrogant voice sounded. The guards blocking Lin Mo's front immediately dispersed to both sides. Walpo rode his furry hippo Robson, surrounded by 20 doctors wearing masks, gloves, and light pink protective suits, and appeared in front of Lin Mo. Walpo was kicked by Lin Mo and seriously injured. Under the treatment of Dr. 20, he recovered quickly. He had never been so humiliated. Therefore, towards Lin Mo and Luo, he held a grudge, and wished to have their skin cramped. Therefore, Walpo ordered that Lin Mo and Luo be wanted throughout the island, and anyone who dared to cover Lin Mo and Luo would be regarded as an accomplice and killed without mercy. Seeing that Lin Mo was holding the wine jar with both hands, Walpo couldn't help but smiled strangely. Brat, he's a drunkard at a young age, heh, blame you for offending the wrong person. Today next year will be your death day. Come, bring the hostages here. Lin Mo, hostage, who? Lin Mo stared at him speechlessly. Soon, the 2 guards threatened a mother and daughter, and escaped from behind Walpo. Walpo proudly said, if you don't want them to get hurt, just stand there obediently and don't move. Lin Mo looked at the mother and daughter silently. He didn't know them at all. No, don't hurt us. The coerced woman hugged the crying girl tightly, and looked at Lin Mo with tears on her face. Please, just listen to His Majesty Walpo and don't move around, or he will kill us. Hey, Lin Mo sneered, so, it doesn't matter if I die. The woman was stunned. She wiped her tears away, and said with a choked tone, I know this is forcing you, and I also know that you don't have to risk your life to save strangers, but if you don't follow His Majesty Walpo, if your daughter is really dead, even if you are still alive, you will indirectly bear the lives of 2 innocent people. My daughter and I were originally arrested because of you. Could it be that you have no responsibility to save us? Responsibility. Lin Mo couldn't help but chuckled. He doesn't think he's a bad guy, and likewise, he's not a bad guy. Whether he can save someone or not depends entirely on his mood. In his opinion, this level of moral kidnapping is simply ridiculous. Walpo laughed triumphantly. Ahahaha, you're dead. I'll see if you have the ability to escape. Come and attack me. Whoever kills this kid first will be rewarded. Yes, the surrounding guards responded in unison. Then he raised the gun in his hand at the same time and aimed it at Lin Mo. At this time, next door street, Luo has been following Kuleha all the time, and wants her to guide him in medical skills. But Kurha has always told me to get the hell out of me, and I have nothing to say to you. The two walked on the street one after the other, and soon found Lin Mo, who was surrounded. Lin Mo. Luo stared at Lin Mo's situation in surprise, and wanted to help, but stopped after taking 2 steps. Seeing that he had turned back again, Kuleha said with a strange smile, Hey, what, your little friend is in trouble, you don't plan to save him? Luo chuckled and said, siege to this extent is nothing to Lin Mo. Hey, it seems you think highly of him. Of course. Luo suddenly thought of something, turned his head to look at Kuleha, and said with a smirk, seeing that you are very idle, why don't we make a bet, how about it? Kuleha laughed and said, smelly brat, who do you think I am? Can you be fooled so easily? Luo smiled and said, why, don't you dare to bet with me? Hey. Kurha laughed loudly, the aggressive method is useless to me. Luo said directly, we will bet on how long it will take Lin Mo to solve those guys. If you win, I will stop pestering you to teach me medical skills. If I win, how about you guiding me in medical skills? Quote. HMPH, brat, you've got a good abacus. Kuleha smiled and said, Hey, that's what you said, if I win, you won't pester me anymore, okay, then I bet he can take those guys out in 3 minutes. Luo Xiao asked, are you sure? Kurha stared at Rona's eyes that were sure to win, then took a sip of wine, and continued, it seems that you are very confident in your little friend, hey, 3 minutes is really too long, then I just bet for 1 minute. Are you sure? Luo asked again. Kuleha saw that Luo's expression was a little serious, and then smiled and said, Hey, sure, just 1 minute, I bet that kid Lin Mo can solve those useless guys within 1 minute. Okay. Luo hooked the corner of his mouth and said, if that's the case, then I'll bet for 10 seconds. 10 seconds. The expression on Kuleha's face could not help but froze. Little devil, are you sure that kid Lin Mo can solve those guys in 10 seconds? Luo shrugged and said, I'm not sure, but since I want to gamble, I naturally want to gamble a little bit bigger. Maybe Lin Mo will succeed. Kurha said speechlessly. What a lunatic. Luo said indifferently. It's okay if you lose. At worst, I will follow Lin Mo. Anyway, I have followed him for 2 months, and I don't care about following him for a while. Lin Mo, with the help of knowledgeable color, heard the conversation between Luo and Kuleha clearly. He didn't want Luo to follow him. Therefore, in order to prevent Luo from following, when the surrounding guards were about to shoot, Lin Mo gave a look, and everyone on the scene, including the crying mother and daughter, fell down and fainted. This is the convenience of having the overlord color. Luo. Kurha. The corners of Luo's mouth twitched slightly, and a few drops of cold sweat could not help but appear on his forehead. Lin Mo, what did you just do? Kurha was shocked. Huh. True or false? Liar. Luo coughed dryly in embarrassment. I won this bet. Kuleha suddenly felt cheated. Brats, you agreed. No. Luo also hit it by mistake. He didn't expect Lin Mo to really deal with those guys in 10 seconds. I really didn't know that guy had this ability, although I knew he was very powerful. Quote. Kurha took a sip of wine, calmed down her mind, and then said impatiently, forget it, I really failed for you, what a trouble. Luo was pleasantly surprised. So, did you agree to guide me in medical skills? Kurha said impatiently. I'd like to admit defeat. No matter how bad I am, Kurha, I'm not a person who doesn't count his words. Brat, I'm very strict. If you can't take it, you can get out at any time. Luo Guzu smiled and said, haha, don't worry, I don't have any good qualities, I just can endure hardship. Lin Mo here. After he solved Walpo's group in an instant, the system's notification sounded in his mind. Didi, help Luo Beishi, the witch Kuleha, and the sign in progress plus 10%. Single quote. Didi, the check-in task of Magnetic Drum Island is completed. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the proficient level skill Yin Healing and Extinguishing Wounds. The reward is Armed Color Domineering level plus 1. The current Armed Color level is LV6. Single quote. In an instant, a powerful force filled Lin Mo's body. Lin Mo's body seemed to have added an invisible layer of protection, which directly reduced the severe cold damage caused by the surrounding natural environment by more than half. Lin Mo was somewhat surprised by the completion of the task of signing in on Magnetic Drum Island. He really didn't expect that, just to get rid of Kai Luo's entanglement, he helped him a little, and he actually completed the final sign-in task. However, thinking about the result was not bad, he was relieved. Lin Mo opened the personal attribute panel. Name: Lin Mo. Age: 10 years old. Check-in location: Alabasta 0%. Physique: all attribute chakra. Domineering. Armed color LV6, Overlord color LV4, Knowledge color LV4. Skills: Fire Dungeon Dragon Fire Art Proficient, Swordsmanship LV6, Shunbu LV3, Yekai LV2, Swordsmanship Divine Avoidance Proficient, Fairy Ball LV2, Palm Immortal Art Proficient, Yin Heals Injury Extinguisher Proficient. Lu Shi, Ji Chang LV1 Ideographic, Tai Kue LV3 Ideographic, TLV1 Ideographic, Yubu LV1 Ideographic, Lan Zhao LV1 Ideographic, Ji Wei LV1 Ideographic. Period. Weapon: Demon Blade Star Breaker, Lake Toya. System space: 100x 100x 100 cubic meters. Next stop is Alabasta. Close the properties panel. Lin Mo thought for a while, and the first thing he thought of was the Baroque studio where Princess Wei Wei and Crocodile were located. Judging from the current point of time, Crocodile should not have gone to Alabasta yet. Therefore, Lin Mo didn't know who he would meet in Alabasta next. In short, let's go to Alabasta first, and it's all about luck who we meet. Thinking of this, Lin Mo carried the 2 jars of wine sent by the hotel owner Pak and walked towards the port. Seeing that Lin Mo was leaving, and it seemed to be heading towards the port, Luo didn't think much, and immediately chased after him. Lin Mo, are you going to drink at the tavern in the town near the port? I'm leaving, Lin Mo said lightly. What? Luo was stunned, and asked in disbelief, are you leaving Magnetic Drum Island? Why are you leaving in such a hurry? I'm a traveler. Lin Mo glanced at him and said calmly, it's impossible for me to stay in the same place for too long. But, Luo clenched his teeth and continued, I really like you, do you really not consider joining my pirate group? No. After finishing speaking, Lin Mo continued to walk towards the port. Luo stood there, staring blankly at Lin Mo's back. After a long time, he asked loudly again, Lin Mo, are we friends? I mean, can I be your friend? Lin Mo paused for a moment, did not look back, and responded with a faint, and then continued to walk forward. Luo Go waved goodbye to Lin Mo with a corner of his mouth. Sure, we will meet again. When we meet next time, I will definitely be stronger than now, and I must be more qualified to be your friend. Kurha came to Luo, took a sip of wine, and said with a smile, Hey, it seems that you have already made up your mind. Of course. Luo clenched his fists and said confidently, as long as I think about it, there is nothing I can't do. In the pine forest outside the town of Kekewait, Chopper hid behind one of the pine trees and watched Lin Mo's movements. When he heard the conversation between Lin Mo and Luo, the whole deer was not well. Although he knew Lin Mo's name, he was very happy. However, Lin Mo is leaving. He didn't want Lin Mo to leave, but he knew that Lin Mo had no reason to stay here because of him. Seeing Lin Mo walking farther and farther, Little Chopper couldn't hold back, and immediately turned into a reindeer, and trotted along with Lin Mo until he reached the shore of the port. Seeing Lin Mo boarding the boat, he was untying the rope tied to a wooden stake on the shore. Chopper couldn't hold back anymore, chased him to the shore, and asked weepingly, Men Lin Moen, can you stay here? Lin Mo looked at Chopper, and said lightly, just now in Kekewait town, you should stay outside. Chopper nodded aggrievedly. Lin Mo thought for a while, then stretched out his hand, and touched Chopper's furry head. Since you are there, you should also hear the conversation between me and Luo. Drum Island. But, Chopper said aggrievedly, can we stay longer before leaving? I finally found someone who won't dislike me. I don't want to lose you so soon. Chaoba, you can't be so coy about the parting between men. Lin Mo continued to untie the rope, and continued, you will meet more people who are kind and gentle to you in the future. But, I only have you and Dr. Sharulik now. I don't want the future, I want the present. Chopper's eyes glistened with tears. I know, I'm still weak, but I will work hard, I will work hard. I worked so hard, I want to get your approval, and I also want to be your friend like that hat brother. I really don't want you to leave here. Look at Chopper's pitiful appearance. Lin Mo originally wanted to be decisive, but after thinking about it, he asked, Chopper, do you feel troubled that I didn't stay? Chopper didn't understand why Lin Mo asked him such a question, and nodded blankly. Lin Mo slightly hooked the corner of his mouth, and continued, this sea is huge, countless times bigger than you imagined. Go out to sea when you grow up, and then you will understand how small your troubles are now. Compared with the world, Magnetic Drum Island is only as big as a sesame seed. The current parting is not a permanent parting, and one day in the future, we will definitely meet again somewhere. Chopper sobbed and stared at Lin Mo. Lin Mo untied all the ropes tied to the shore. The boat sailed slowly away from the shore with the current. Chopper wanted to stop him, but he knew that he could no longer stop Lin Mo. He wanted to say something more, but didn't know what to say. Chopper. Lin Mo stood on the boat, looked at Chopper who was getting further and further away from him, and smiled. Actually, we are already friends. Huh, really? Chopper asked in a panic. Lin Mo smiled and waved at him. Really? Chopper broke his tears into a smile, and said happily, in the future, I will definitely go to sea. At that time, I will show you a stronger Chopper. Okay. Lin Mo nodded. The boat carried him gradually away from Magnetic Drum Island. When he left the snowy area and the ambient temperature returned to normal, he took off the cotton coat he was wearing. At the same time, not far from the front, a half-ship, half-submarine with a pattern similar to the sun and a simple smiling face in the middle was driving towards him with half of the hull exposed. This is Luo's pirate ship. When Lin Mo's boat and the Heart Pirate's boat passed by, a white bear wearing an orange long-sleeved jumpsuit bared his teeth on the deck and yelled, the captain is really serious. He said he was going to stay on Magnetic Drum Island for 2 months, but he actually called me just now. Said to stay for another 2 months. Can you be so willful as a captain? Ha ha ha, there's no way. Who called him the boss? Babo, the phone bug hasn't hung up yet. The boss heard what you said just now. The white bear named Babo was startled. Seeing that the phone bug was still connected, he immediately froze down, bowed and said in a low voice, oh, sorry, I didn't know anything just now. Didn't say anything, boss, just pretend you didn't hear anything. Ha ha ha, the phone has been hung up, but the boss didn't say anything. Bebo, you were finished, the boss must be very angry now, ha ha ha. Pagin, yo, come on, let's fight to the death. Bebo immediately made a golden chicken independent movement. The person named Pagin couldn't help laughing out loud. I have to say that the atmosphere of Luo's Heart Pirates is not bad. Lin Mo twitched the corner of his mouth slightly, but didn't say much. The boat carrying him quietly passed by the Heart Pirates ship, heading towards the next check-in destination, Alabasta. Alabasta is different from the small islands that Lin Mo had been to before. It is a superpower with a large boundary. Because the towns are built on the desert, if you want to walk in Alabasta, you must reserve enough drinking water. Fortunately, Lin Mo's system space is large enough, so he doesn't have to worry about drinking water at all. But he is not sure how long it will take to sail at sea to reach Alabasta. Therefore, whenever he encounters a small island on the channel, Lin Mo will stop at the shore to replenish the system space with supplies. After sailing on the sea for nearly a month, a large island full of yellow sand finally appeared before his eyes. Stopping the boat near the nearest shore, Lin Mo jumped off the boat directly. When his feet landed on the shore full of yellow sand, the long-lost system notification sounded in his mind immediately. Didi, congratulations to the host for successfully arriving at the check-in location Alabasta. The check-in progress is plus 10%, and the current total progress is 10%. The new skill entry-level Wind Escape Infinite Sand Breakthrough will be rewarded. Single quote. Immediately afterwards, the information about the breakthrough of Wind Escape Infinite Sand and Dust melted into Lin Mo's mind. This is an ability in Hokage that can create a huge desert storm with a huge range. Originally, the person who used this skill in Naruto had to be in the state of a tailed beast to use it. The tailed beast is the materialized life form of a huge chakra with a tail in Naruto. But when it comes to Lin Mo, there is no such restriction. He can use it as long as he touches the sand with his hands. It can be said that this ability can basically be regarded as a super powerful skill in Alabasta, which is full of sand. Without thinking too much, Lin Mo immediately walked towards the nearest small town. This is a relatively simple town. On the streets, men and women wear headscarves or hats to resist the heat. After all, Alabasta is a country built on the desert. Although with Lin Mo's current strength, this heat does not pose any threat to him, but being exposed to the sun like this, it's okay to be in the sun for a while, but it will be uncomfortable if it is exposed to the sun for a long time. When Lin Mo passed a stall selling hats, scarves and goggles, the vendor owner stopped him immediately with a smile on his face. "Little friend, look at your outfit, you must be an outsider. Welcome to the small town of Narohala in Alabasta. As a friendly reminder, it's very easy to wear a hat here. Heat stroke. Consider buying a hat to wear." Lin Mo stopped indifferently, and scanned the vendor's stall with his eyes. Next, he wants to go to Albana, the capital of Alabasta. During this period, he will pass through a large desert, so he really should buy a hat to wear. Without hesitating for too long, Lin Mo chose a cowboy hat with a black body and an orange brim, and paired it with a pair of red windproof glasses on the brim. "How much?" Lin Mo put the hat on his head directly. The vendor owner rubbed his hands and said with a smile, "Seeing that you are still a child, even if you are cheaper, you can just give me 10 Baileys. 10 Baileys are not expensive for a hat and goggles." Lin Mo directly took out the 10 Baileys and gave it to the vendor owner, and asked, "How can I get to Alba?" "You mean Albana, the capital." The vendor owner accepted the money with a smile. Lin Mo nodded lightly. "Albana is far away from here." The vendor owner continued, pointing in one direction, "You can just go in that direction, but I suggest you buy a camel to carry you, otherwise, walk. If you don't, you'll have to walk for at least 2 months to get there. Oh, by the way, you probably didn't come to Alabasta alone, did your adults? Do they need a hat?" Lin Mo ignored the boss who was trying to sell, and left his vendor directly. In this small town, he walked around casually, bought a camel as a mount by the way, and started towards the direction of Albana. "Don't be in a hurry, go slowly." Not long after Lin Mo left the small town of Narohara, a pirate ship with a pirate flag with 2 staggered knives on the back and 3 scratches on the right eye stopped beside Lin Mo's boat. "Ha ha ha, that kid really came to Alabasta." On the deck, a red-haired man grinned. Next to him, a man with slightly curly hair wearing a headscarf with the word YASOPP on his head said with disgust, "Boss, you are really enough. We know we still have things to do, so we have to come." This. Ha ha ha, I haven't seen him for half a year, and that kid actually came to the Great Root. Ah, I really want to know how far he has grown. The redhead said with a grin. That's right, the group of people who came was the red-haired pirate group that Lin Mo met in the East China Sea Windmill Village. It's really a headache to have a boss who likes to meddle in other people's business. Lajalu, a man who never left his hands, ate the flesh and bones in his hands, and said with the same disgust, "Just do it, if you didn't meet with that guy at the appointed time, it's your own fault if you get hacked to death by him." "But, I really want to see Lin Mo." The red-haired Shanks leaned on the railing beside the deck, staring at the small wooden boat parked next to him, and continued, "Although this boat is not Lin Mo from Windmill Village, the one that came out, but I'm sure, this boat must belong to Lin Mo. I can already smell Lin Mo." Ha ha ha, boss, are you a dog? You still smell it, ha ha ha. Jesus clothed the man in the hood and laughed loudly. The other crew members of the Red Hair Pirates couldn't help laughing too. Even the redhead laughed together, ha ha ha. Do you really want to see him that much? At this time, wearing a black shirt, with long black hair tied into a ponytail, a bang hanging from the left temple, wearing a V-neck t-shirt and baggy trousers, pedaling Martin boots, a man with a cigarette between his fingers, asked calmly. The red hair looked at Beckman, grinned and said, "Of course, it was hard to get the news that he was coming in this direction. If you give up this opportunity, you really don't know when we will see you next time. My first 6 senses told me that Lin Mo is also looking forward to meeting me." In fact, Lin Mo didn't look forward to it. Looking at the excited and longing eyes of the red hair, Beckman was silent for a moment, took a sip of the cigarette in his hand, and said, "Okay, 10 days, we will only wait for you here for 10 days. Huh, 10 days, isn't it enough? Alabasta is so big, the redhead muttered. Boss, just be content with it, I can give you 10 days is enough to give you face. That's right, so Beckman will spoil you. If it were me, I would give you 3 days. Cut, 3 days, are you underestimating our boss? 1 day is enough for me, ha ha ha. The red-haired crew booed one after another. Hey, what kind of people did I find to be the crew here? The red hair hooked the corners of her mouth, looked at the small town not far away with a smile, then jumped to the shore with ease, looked back and stood on the deck. Everyone on the stage waved their hands. 10 days will be 10 days, you all take good care of the house and wait for me to come back. After the red hair and his crew reached a 10-day agreement, they went directly to the small town of Narohara and searched around in the scorching heat, but they couldn't find any trace of Lin Mo. When he passed the hat stall, the vendor owner stopped him just like when he stopped Lin Mo before. Sir, you don't look like a local, you came from another island, right? If you're going to stay here for a while, you'd better buy a hat and wear it to prevent heat stroke. Heat stroke in this kind of place is very troublesome. The red hair glanced at the vendor owner, without thinking too much, immediately came to the owner's stall, and asked excitedly while pointing, I'll ask you, have you seen a little ghost, about this tall? He's not a local, characteristics, by the way, he has a stinky face, as if everyone owes him money. Yes, that's it, have you seen it? Seeing that the red hair was so excited, the vendor owner couldn't help sweating a few drops from his forehead. However, the kid this person was talking about seemed to be the one who just bought a hat from him not long ago. Well, see, I have seen it, but I don't remember where he went. The vendor owner deliberately touched his chin with one hand, and rubbed his thumb and index finger with the other hand. Maybe I will think about it in a while. When I wake up, I may not be able to remember. So you've seen him before, right? The redhead asked in surprise. Well, I've seen it, so. You understand? The vendor owner said with a smile. The red-haired nodded, and laughed loudly. Ha ha ha, I understand, it's okay. You think about it slowly, I have time to wait here for you to remember where that kid went. Vendor owner. Is this man a fool? Is it that poor in comprehension? Or is this guy doing it on purpose? The vendor owner was speechless. Are you sure you really understand what I mean? The red hair scratched his head. Didn't you say it yourself? Maybe you will remember it later. The vendor owner directly raised his hand and rubbed his hands again in front of the red hair. Seeing that the red hair didn't respond, he continued to rub his hands. Boss, what happened to your hand? The redhead asked strangely, is it itchy? PFF'd. The vendor owner almost spurted out a mouthful of old blood, and couldn't help shouting, you fool, it was definitely on purpose. I'm so obvious, you still pretend not to know, what are you thinking? The red hair looked at him innocently, scratched his head, and said with a smile, don't be so angry, it hurts your body, and it's so hot. Oh, are you too hot? Do you want to drink water? There is wine, would you like a sip? As he said that, the red hair actually handed over his jug to the vendor owner. The vendor owner almost knocked the red-haired flagon off. You fool, I'm not itchy, I'm not hot, and I'm not thirsty. I just want you to buy a hat. Are you going to buy it or not? If you don't buy it, you will get out, don't disturb my business. Huh, it's not good to be so angry, boss, you should have said earlier that you want me to buy a hat. The red hair touched his chin and looked at the hats on the stall, picked up a straw hat, and said with a smile, then this one, well, how much is it? The corner of the vendor's mouth twitched, and he said in an unhappy tone, 5 Baileys. It's still very cheap. The redhead put the straw hat on his head, and casually threw 5 Baileys to the vendor owner. The vendor owner accepted the money, and then raised his finger in the direction of Albana, the capital. The kid you were looking for, go in that direction, you'd better buy a camel to chase after it, otherwise it will be difficult to catch up on foot. Boss, your memory is still good, you remembered it so quickly. The red-haired grinned, thank you. After finishing speaking, he ran towards the direction the boss was pointing at. Seeing that he ran away without buying a camel, the vendor owner couldn't help sighing, what a weird person. Not long after the redhead left, a group of people suddenly appeared and gathered in front of the vendor's stall. Boss, the business is good. The leader, Beckman, stood in front of the stall owner, holding a long gun in one hand, and said with the corner of his mouth hooked. Lajaloo was gnawing there with a bone in one hand, and a gun in the other hand, pointed the muzzle of the gun at the head of the vendor owner, and said with a smile, I haven't drunk blood from this gun for a long time, boss, will you sell your blood? Hey, Laji, put down your gun and let me do it. Jesus Cloth also raised his own gun, wiped the muzzle of the gun in front of the street vendor owner whose face was already so ugly, hooked the corner of his mouth, and pressed the gun directly. Pull the trigger. Just listen to click. The vendor owner was so frightened that his legs gave way and he fell to the ground. Jesus put the gun back and regretfully said, Oh, I forgot to load the bullet. Ha ha ha, Jesus can you do it? You can forget to load the bullets. The rest of the red hair pirates laughed. Only the vendor owner was frightened and said in a trembling tone, Yes, I'm sorry gentlemen, I don't know what I did wrong, but please don't hurt me. You didn't do anything wrong. Beckman chose a few hats at the stall, threw them to the crew behind him, then took out a bag of Baileys, put them in front of the stall owner, and said with a smile, That redhead you idiot, it's not okay to bully or laugh at anyone you want, stop judging people by their appearance, young boss. After finishing speaking, Beckman led the red-haired pirates back. Beckman, do you really not care about the boss? Is it okay for him to go out alone? Although his strength is very strong, I recognize it very much. Hey, even though they are all adults, sometimes they are still like a child, which is really worrying. How about, let's find 2 people to secretly follow the boss, I'm really worried that the boss will be sold halfway. It's okay, the red-haired guy knows what he's doing. Beckman said with the corners of his mouth curled up, we'll just wait for him to come back on the boat. The other side, Lin Mo didn't know that the red hair had also come to Alabasta. Riding a camel leisurely in this vast sea of sand. Soon, a large sand glass suddenly appeared in the sand directly in front of him. Immediately afterwards, a huge purple lizard emerged from the sand glass, opened its mouth wide, and bit Lin Mo and the camel he was riding. Lin Mo looked at the lizard indifferently. He didn't feel anything. At any rate, when he was at sea, he killed many sea kings that were many times larger than this big lizard. In his opinion, this lizard was not a threat at all. But his mount was just an ordinary camel, and when he saw this big lizard, he was already terrified. Seeing the big lizard approaching, the camel ran around carrying Lin Mo on its back in order to escape. Lin Mo said speechlessly, Don't panic, I'm fine. But his words were directly ignored by the camel. Then, the camel drove him off the correct route to Albana, and rushed towards a direction where Lin Mo didn't know where he was going. The red hair quickly chased in the direction Lin Mo was walking. When a small figure riding a camel appeared in his line of sight, before the red hair had time to be happy, the desert lizard appeared. Then, the camel carrying Lin Mo ran away at an unbelievable speed. Seeing that Lin Mo was about to fade out of his sight again, the red hair immediately accelerated to chase after him. Just when he was about to catch up with the large desert lizard that was following Lin Mo. Suddenly, another large desert lizard emerged from the sand beside him, opened its mouth wide, and swallowed the red hair into its mouth. This giant lizard is found in pairs in Alabasta. Almost at the moment the lizard swallowed the red hair into its mouth, a burst of knife light flashed. The lizard's head was split in 2 by the red hair in an instant. The redhead just landed on both feet. The lizard who went to chase Lin Mo saw that his partner had been chopped off, and turned back angrily, trying to avenge his little friend. Seeing that Lin Mo's figure was getting farther and farther away, the red hair didn't care about other things. When the giant lizard approached, he cut it in half with just one sword, just like cutting tofu, and then quickly continued towards Lin Mo. Mo chased, shouting while chasing, Lin Mo, it's me, wait for me. Although there was a long distance, Lin Mo could still feel the breath of the 2 giant lizards disappearing. Moreover, he also felt a familiar breath. When he looked back, he saw a red-haired man in a straw hat chasing him in the distance. Suddenly, Lin Mo became speechless for a while. Redhead. Why come to Alabasta? Also, how did this guy know he was here? It's such a coincidence to meet Redhead here, maybe this guy can take up some of the missions in Alabasta this time. Thinking of this, Lin Mo pulled the reins of the camel, trying to stop the frightened camel. But no matter how he pulled it, the camel had no intention of stopping. There was no way. Lin Mo exerted a little force and pulled back the rein suddenly. All of a sudden, the front half of the camel was forced to stand up, and it seemed that it was about to fall. Lin Mo jumped lightly, and at the moment the camel fell to the ground, it landed safely on the sand beside it. The camel struggled to get up from the sand, looked around blankly, and was relieved to see that the giant lizard that had been chasing them had disappeared. In just a few minutes, the red hare chased after him. "You kid, you run really fast," the red hare said with a smile. Lin Mo's eyes fell on the red-haired straw hat and healthy arms. This is not his original one. So, the red-haired straw hat was given to Luffy, right? Also, in his impression, the redhead should have an arm bitten off by the King of the Sea in Windmill Village in order to save Luffy. Could it be that the King of the Sea that would bite off the red-haired arm was the one he killed when he left Windmill Village? Without thinking too much, Lin Mo looked away and asked lightly, "Where are Beckman and the others?" The red-haired shrugged and said, "They are waiting for me on the coast near that town. Don't worry about them, ha ha ha. Lin Mo, I haven't seen you for more than half a year, do you miss me?" Lin Mo said speechlessly, "No. Ha ha ha." The red-haired laughed loudly, "You don't like to talk to people, it really hasn't changed at all, ha ha ha. So, what do you want me for? Can't you come here to catch up if you have nothing to do?" The red-haired grinned, "On the way here, I heard that there is a little ghost about 10 years old. Every time he arrives at an island, he will go to a tavern to drink, and then buy a large amount of wine. I knew it was you as soon as I heard it. Then I followed the direction you were sailing, and speculated that you would come to Alabasta, but unexpectedly, I guessed it right, really lucky." "Oh," Lin Mo responded lightly, then took the reins of the camel and continued to walk forward. Surrounded by yellow sand, it happened to be cloudy today, so he couldn't tell the direction by the sun, so he could only walk casually by luck, and wait until the next town to ask for directions. Seeing Lin Mo leaving, the red-haired immediately followed him, and said as he walked beside him, "I really didn't expect that you came to the Great Root so soon. I thought it would be several years before we meet again." Lin Mo continued to walk forward without a word. It was indeed several years ago, but thanks to your efforts, it was brought forward. As expected of a redhead, she is really outstanding. Ha ha ha. The red-haired laughed and took a sip from his flagon. Turning his gaze, he found 2 knives hanging on Lin Mo's waist. He couldn't help being surprised. "Huh. Have you started practicing swords yet?" Quote. Lin Mo ignored him. The red-haired gaze fell on the 3rd generation of Goosh, and he couldn't help squinting his eyes slightly. "That knife. Why does it look so similar to Goosh? Could it really be Goosh?" Lin Mo gave an lightly. "That's a demon sword," the red-haired said in shock. "You kid can even control a demon sword." Lin Mo chuckled and said, "What can't be controlled? Only those who are not determined will be controlled by the demon sword." The red hair was stunned, and then laughed again. "Ha ha ha, that's right, your willpower can't be controlled by some messy demon sword, I'm thinking too much, ha ha ha." "So," Lin Mo asked speechlessly, "how long do you plan to keep Beckman and the others waiting for you?" What Lin Mo meant was to ask the red hair to leave quickly and not follow him. But the red hair said indifferently, "I promise them, I will go back within 10 days, it doesn't matter, we haven't had a good drink together for a long time, when we arrive in the next town, let's find a tavern and have a good drink together, come on, I treat you. If it's just drinking, it's not out of the question." Lin Mo didn't think much about it, and let out an indifferently. The red-haired man followed beside him in a good mood, turned his gaze and landed on Lin Mo's wine gourd. "Your gourd looks good, where did you buy it?" "I'll buy one later." "Shuangyu Village." "Huh, Shuangyu Village." The redhead touched his chin and thought for a while, "Is there a Shuangyu Village called Yixin Dojo?" "Ah, ha ha ha, no wonder you know swordsmanship. So you have been to that dojo. I heard that the owner of that dojo is a very powerful swordsman. Have you ever sparred with him?" Lin Mo replied indifferently, "No." The redhead asked strangely, "Huh? Why?" Lin Mo glanced at him speechlessly. This guy is so annoying. Seeing that Lin Mo didn't answer him, the red hair thought for a while, and continued, "Could it be that you think you can't beat the owner of that dojo, you're scared, ha ha ha." Lin Mo, ha ha ha. The red-haired laughed loudly, "I was just joking, you are the strongest kid I have ever seen, it is impossible for you to be planted anywhere, Let me think about it, with your personality, Probably because I found it troublesome and didn't want to do anything, that's why I didn't compete with the host. Right. Are you saying I'm right? Lin Mo was not the kind of person who would take the initiative to provoke trouble. If it is not necessary, he really will not ask for trouble to find someone to learn from. Therefore, the red-haired guess was more than half right. Even so, Lin Mo still didn't want to answer any of his questions. Chatterboxes like this, once he is given a chance to open them up, will go on endlessly. Then force him to end the topic at the beginning, which is one of the ways Lin Mo can think of so far to make the red hair stop annoying him. You are really indifferent. Traveling alone, isn't it really lonely? Seeing that Lin Mo ignored him, the red hair didn't feel that there was anything wrong at all, and continued, by the way, there is something I want to ask you. Let me share with you. When I was in Windmill Village, I met a very interesting person. His name is Luffy, do you know? Lin Mo. I know. The red hair continued. Do you still remember my straw hat? It was given to me by my former captain. Lin Mo, you must not guess who my former captain is, ha ha ha, give you a chance, try it, there is a prize for guessing. Lin Mo. Sorry, I know too. Hey, why don't you talk, how about I give you some hints? The red-haired said with a smile, my former captain was a big pirate who created an era, how about it, you can guess it. Quote. Lin Mo. You are annoying, ha ha ha. The redhead continued, then I'll tell you, I used to be an intern on the ship of One Piece King Gall D. Roger. My straw hat was given to me by the captain. It's amazing. Seeing that Lin Mo didn't look surprised at all, the red hair couldn't help but scratched his head, and continued, I'm really shocked when you look like this. Could it be that I used to be on the Roger Pirate's ship, so I'm so unreasonable? Is it surprising? Lin Mo. Surprise. I already know your details, okay. Ha ha ha. The red-haired laughed loudly, forget it, if you can really be surprised by such a trivial matter, you won't be Lin Mo. The straw hat Captain Roger gave me means a lot to me, but I gave that straw hat to Luffy, do you know why? Lin Mo. I know, so, how long are you going to talk to yourself? The red hair suddenly became serious. I see the future in Luffy, maybe he can lead the future of pirates in the future, so I put the straw hat on him. I also believe that Luffy will not. It disappointed me. It's rare to see a serious redhead. Lin Mo couldn't help but glance at him more. The red hair shifted his gaze to Lin Mo, the corners of his mouth slightly hooked, and continued, if you are willing to join the pirate group, I will definitely block the future of the pirates on you. Although saying this may not be very friendly to Luffy, but your potential is indeed the best among all the people I have ever seen, and you are still in the growth stage. It is no exaggeration to say that in the future, you will definitely become someone who can easily stir up the whole world. Lin Mo. Not only did Lin Mo not feel very happy about the red hair's affirmation and praise, he even wanted to drink a little. Without thinking too much, he picked up his wine gourd, uncorked it, and took a sip. Seeing that Lin Mo didn't react at all, the red hair couldn't help laughing and said, ha ha ha. Others can raise their tails to the sky after being praised so much by me. Fortunately, you didn't react at all, as if you knew everything a long time ago. Quote. Lin Mo. If not, should I cooperate with your performance? The two of them continued to walk forward. After walking for more than 3 hours, the wine in the red-haired flagon was almost finished, and finally found a green town not far away. Lin Mo, I saw the town. The red hair said excitedly. Lin Mo said speechlessly, I saw it too. Come on, let's hurry up, I can't wait to try Alabasta wine. The redhead said eagerly. In fact, Lin Mo was also a little moved. The two immediately quickened their pace and entered the town. Then, under the guidance of the townspeople, they came to the largest tavern in this town. Ha ha ha, I can finally have a good meal. The red-haired man pushed open the door of the tavern with a smile and let Lin Mo go in first. Lin Mo stepped into the tavern unceremoniously. The two came to the bar counter one after another, and the red hair waved directly. Boss, here is a case of the best wine here. A case? Guest, are you planning to take the wine away? The tavern owner asked strangely. The red-haired grinned, of course I'm going to finish my drink here. Huh, 1 box, can you drink it all by yourself? The tavern owner asked in surprise. The red hair pointed to Lin Mo next to him, and said with a smile, there's still this brat here, the two of us have finished drinking, stop talking nonsense, and go to the bar. After speaking, the red hair grabbed a handful of gold from his pocket and put it on the bar. The tavern owner's eyes lit up. He quickly put away the gold, nodded and bowed immediately, and said, "Okay, I'll bring you the best wine in this shop right away." The other drinkers in the tavern saw that the red hair took out a handful of gold so generously, and they were all sour. "He's really rich. If you have too much money to spend, why don't you buy our wine?" "Ha ha ha, you are thinking too much, and they don't know you, so why buy you a drink?" "You can't say that, maybe people will be willing to invite you. What do you think of the red-haired brother over there?" The red hair hooked the corner of his mouth, and said casually, "Okay, but I only brought so little money, I guess the money just now is enough to buy several cases of wine, let's all drink together." "Huh, did I hear you right? He actually agreed to buy him a drink. Ha ha ha, it seems that this little brother is a pretty good person." That's right, you're a nice guy, little brother, what's your name?" The redhead took off the straw hat on his head, put it on the bar next to him, and said with a grin, "My name is Shanks, but my name is not important, you should remember the name of the kid next to me." "Well, his name is Lin Mo." Lin Mo said speechlessly, "There's so much nonsense." Ha ha ha, the redhead laughed heartily. After hearing what the red hair said, all the drinkers talked about it. "Shanks, I seem to have heard of it somewhere." "Well, I can't remember." "Lin Mo, I haven't heard of it at all." "Why should we remember Lin Mo?" "No, this kid named Lin Mo looks only a few years old, does he know how to drink? It's not good for you, an adult, to bring a child to a tavern to drink. TCH, what do you know? Now everything has to start with a baby. There is nothing wrong with letting a child learn to drink from an early age. Maybe we adults can't drink as well as other children, ha ha ha." In the conversation and laughter of the drinkers, the tavern owner held a case of good wine and placed it in front of Shanks. Shanks directly opened a bottle first and handed it to Lin Mo. Lin Mo took it bluntly, and took a big gulp from the bottle. Seeing Lin Mo drinking so freely, the tavern owner couldn't help but sigh with emotion. These days, children can drink so well. "Boss," the red-haired grinned, "the gold coins just now are enough to buy a few boxes of wine. Take them and distribute them to other guests in the tavern. Let's drink together." "Huh," the tavern owner was surprised. "You are from another place, you don't know anyone here, so you want to invite everyone to drink?" The redhead waved his hands indifferently. "Drinking should be lively, just like a banquet. It's interesting when everyone drinks together, makes noise and laughs together, don't you agree?" All the drinkers said in unison, cheerfully, "Yes." The red hair is a person who likes to hold banquets very much. Lin Mo knows this very well. Moreover, the red-haired person was originally a generous and informal person. Therefore, it is not surprising that redheads buy everyone a drink. Just as the owner of the tavern delivered the wine sent by Hong to the tables of all the drinkers one by one, and everyone was drinking happily together, the door of the tavern was suddenly kicked open roughly. A man wearing a tea-green turban and a headband inlaid with blue gems to fix the turban was tied on his forehead. He walked in arrogantly with a group of younger brothers. Seeing someone coming, the original cheerful atmosphere in the tavern was suddenly broken. They are desert robbers. Ah, how did they enter the town? Where are the guards guarding the town? It's over. I heard that the desert thieves are doing all kinds of crimes, burning, killing and looting. It will be miserable if we are targeted by them. Why are we so unlucky?" The drinkers were shocked. The boss of this group of desert bandits laughed proudly. "Ahahaha, it's really unlucky to be targeted by me. Doc, you guys, hurry up, don't want to get hurt, give me all your money." Duck's younger brothers each held guns and knives, scattered around the tavern, smirked and asked the drinkers for money, but if they didn't cooperate, they would go straight to grab it. The tavern-keeper hid under the bar in fear. For a while, there was chaos in the tavern. Only Hongfa and Lin Mo were still drinking wine leisurely there. One of Dake's men chased to the bar, held a long knife to the red hare's neck, and said viciously, "Quick, if you don't want to die, hand over all the money on your body." The red hare took a look at the man, then raised his hands, and said with a smile, "Okay, I'll give it to you, but your robbery is robbery, don't accidentally hurt innocent drinkers." "Hey, did you make a mistake? We are desert thieves. Don't try to bargain with us, hurry up and take out your money. The red hair cooperated and took out the few gold coins left on him. Duck's subordinates snatched the gold coins, turned their eyes to Lin Mo, who was still drinking, and was attracted by the 3-generation ghost hanging on Lin Mo's waist. The appearance of the 3 generations of ghosts is quite simple, and people who don't know knives will not see the value of this knives. However, this guy who came to rob Red Hair and Lin Mo still has some research on knives, so he recognized the knives Lin Mo was wearing at a glance. It was Goosh. Although he also knew that Goosh was a demon sword. Even so, the value of Goosh is worth his risk once. Dake's subordinates transferred the knife on the red hair's neck to Lin Mo's neck, and said viciously, "Hey, brat, give me your knife." Lin Mo drank his wine, shifted his gaze to the person who dared to threaten him with a knife, and said indifferently, "Take the knife away." "Hey, you don't want to live anymore. Come on, give me the knife on your waist." Duck's subordinate said rudely, "If you don't cooperate, I will kill you. I advise you not to do this." The red-haired drank the bottle of wine in his hand that had bottomed out in one gulp, then took another bottle from the wine box and opened it, and said lightly, "That kid is not you. It can be messed with, besides, that knife is not something you can control anymore. For your own life, get out of here after taking the money, don't seek death." "Do you really think I dare not kill this brat?" Dake's subordinates were annoyed, and slashed their long knives at Lin Mo's head. Lin Mo sat there and continued drinking, when the long knife cut to his neck. There was a crisp click, and the knife under Dake's hand broke. And Lin Mo's neck was safe and sound. "Huh, how did this happen? My knife. Why did it break?" Duck's men said in disbelief. The red-haired drinker said with a half-smile, "That's right, your weaponry has improved." Lin Mo continued to drink in silence. "Hey, what's going on? How did your knife break?" "No, you can't even handle a child, ha ha ha." "Hopi, do you need help? As long as you give me half of the money you can get this time, I will help you, ha ha ha." The man named Huopi looked at the broken knife in his hand, his face turned blue and red. "My knife must have been used for too long, so it broke. Brat, don't be complacent, I will let you know the horrors of desert thieves." While speaking, Hopi immediately grabbed a revolver from his companions around him, pointed the muzzle at Lin Mo's head without hesitation, and pulled the trigger directly. The bullet flew towards the back of Lin Mo's head at high speed. Just as he was about to hit Lin Mo's head, Lin Mo tilted his head casually, and the bullet grazed his hair and flew out, hitting the latticed wine cabinet not far in front of Lin Mo. Hopi was stunned, and immediately pulled the trigger again, firing all the bullets in the revolver. "You must have hit and avoided by mistake just now. Now, let me see how you are still hiding. Go to hell, brat." Lin Mo shook his body speechlessly, dodging all the bullets from Hopi. Then he looked back at Hopi indifferently. If the opponent escaped by chance for the first attack just now, it is by no means a coincidence that the next attack can be avoided so many times. Hopi didn't expect that this brat, whom he despised so much, could dodge all his bullets. When Lin Mo turned his head and stared at him indifferently, Hopi reflexively took half a step back. "Why, what's going on? What's going on with this kid? Why can he dodge so many bullets? It's a lie." The little friends around Huopi also widened their eyes, and they all looked extremely shocked. The red-haired man supported his side face with one hand, and held the wine bottle in the other. He looked at Lin Mo with a smile, and said briskly, "It seems that you have a good grasp of knowledge. What's going on?" At this moment, Duck, the leader of the desert thieves, strode towards Hopi. Hopi hurriedly hid behind Duck, nervously said, "Boss, that kid is abnormal, I suspect he is a monster." "If it's a monster or not, it's just a stinky brat." Doc was busy robbing other drinkers in the tavern just now, and didn't notice the situation on Hopi's side, and didn't know what happened. "Boss, let's go," Hopi said with some fear. Doc glared at him angrily. "Who do you think we are? Even if you want to leave, you have to loot all the money in this tavern before leaving." Dake looked at Lin Mo with a sullen face, and pointed the mace in his hand at Lin Mo's head. "Little rascal, it seems that you have scared my subordinates a lot, Then let me see how you end up. What's the matter?" After finishing speaking, a bloodthirsty and fierce light flashed in Doc's eyes. Without saying a word, he immediately refined his mace made of special materials, which could easily smash a stone into pieces, and slammed towards Lin Mo's head swung away. Lin Mo wrapped the armed collar around his right hand in silence, and when Duck's special mace approached, he punched it directly. Just heard a muffled bang. Duck's mace was in front of everyone, and was smashed to pieces by Lin Mo's fist. The whole tavern fell silent in an instant. Doc, the leader of this group of desert thieves, stared at his mace with only the handle left in disbelief. His little brothers all had terrified expressions on their faces. Lin Mo glanced at the crumbs of the mace on his fist, frowned slightly, and shook off the crumbs on his fist. It was also his hand-waving action that made Doc think that Lin Mo was going to beat him, so he quickly backed up a few steps in fright. Today, I will let you go today, little ones, get out. After finishing speaking, Duck immediately took the lead and ran out. His little brothers hurried out with him. After they left the tavern, cheers erupted in the tavern. Great, I didn't expect that, Lin Mo, you are so powerful. No wonder Shanks wants us to remember you. It turns out that you are not a simple kid. You can even scare away vicious desert thieves, Lin Mo, you are very good at it. Hey, it's a pity, our money was still taken away, but it's good that everyone is fine, ha ha ha. This feeling of being reborn after a catastrophe is quite exciting. The owner of the tavern poked his head out from under the bar and saw that everyone was laughing and drinking again. After thinking about it, he said, everyone is free to drink today, I won't charge you. Huh, really, boss, we're very good at drinking, be careful to drink and bankrupt you, ha ha ha. Since the boss is so grand, then we're not welcome, hee hee. Boss, let's drink and drink. Everyone here has experienced disasters together. If you don't get drunk today, you won't return. Ho ho, okay, come on, let's toast our little hero Lin Mo together. The tavern was once again as lively as it was before the desert thieves came. Lin Mo continued to drink in silence. Being so happy after being robbed, the mentality of this group of people is really good enough. The red hair looked at Lin Mo with a smile, and after he finished drinking a bottle of wine, he took the initiative to open another bottle for him. How does it feel in such an atmosphere? The redhead asked with a smile. Lin Mo said speechlessly, it's not very good. Ha ha ha. The redhead laughed heartily. At this time, the door of the tavern was opened again. One is wearing an Arabian turban, with deep purple four-pointed star makeup on both eyes, wearing a white robe with many black square patterns on the robe and turban, and 2 orange necklaces. A tall, young man with long brown hair appeared at the door with a group of heavily armed men. Everyone in the tavern recognized the person at a glance. Huh, isn't this Bell, the deputy head of the guard? Master Bell should protect His Majesty the King in the capital. Why did he come to a small town like ours? Could it be for the group of useless desert thieves just now? Master Bell, those desert thieves have been driven away, and there is nothing wrong here. Driven away. Bell was slightly surprised. He was passing through the town on official business, and when he received a distress signal, he learned that a group of desert thieves were coming, so he chased after him. Those thieves could easily injure even the armed guards guarding the town, and now they actually told him that the thieves were driven away. Bell glanced around the tavern with a sullen face, and couldn't help but fall on the 2 people, one big and one young, who were sitting in front of the bar drinking. Those 2 people were not dressed in alabasta. Could it be that they drove the desert bandits away? Thinking of this, Bell walked into the tavern and walked towards Hongfa and Lin Mo. You 2, were you the ones who chased away the desert thieves just now? Bell asked in a flat tone. Lin Mo ignored him. The redhead smiled while drinking. That's right, but he drove him away alone. Then he pointed at Lin Mo without hesitation. Lin Mo glanced at him speechlessly, and his eyes signaled, as long as you talk too much. Bell looked at Lin Mo, with a flash of surprise in his eyes. Haven't asked anything in detail yet. The drinkers around began to praise Lin Mo's great achievements. That's right, that kid did it. Lord Bell, you weren't here just now, so you didn't see that this kid named Lin Mo smashed the weapons of the gang of desert thieves bosses with one punch. That's right, we all saw it with our own eyes. Moreover, the group of people shot this brat with guns, and they couldn't hit him with a distance of only 2 meters. Also, there was a man who cut Lin Mo with a knife, and even cut off his own knife. Ha ha ha, I even doubt that this kid is not human at all, and he can't even cut his skin with a knife. In short, this kid is really powerful. Thanks to him, we are safe and sound. Belle was a little skeptical at first. How could a child drive away so many thieves? But if so many people saw it, then it should be so. After a moment of silence, Belle opened his mouth and said, I'm Belle, the adjutant of the Alabasta Kingdom Guard. Thank you very much for your help in this incident. After finishing speaking, Belle bowed slightly politely, and then continued, but I still have official business, so I can't stay in this town for too long. As a thank you, I will pay for your drink. Well, Lord Belle, the tavern owner rubbed his head and said with a dry smile, today, the whole tavern is free of charge. If you have time, you can also stay here and have a drink before leaving. Belle, ha ha ha. The red-haired laughed loudly. Don't be so polite. This kid is not such a snobbish person. If you have to thank him, when you have a chance to meet again next time, treat him to a drink, that's it. Okay. Belle nodded. If that's the case, then I'll take my leave first. Seeing that Lin Mo ignored him, Belle didn't say anything more, turned around and walked out of the tavern. After he left, Lin Mo rarely complained about Hongfa. Hongfa, you talk a lot. Ha ha ha. The redhead laughed indifferently. The tavern owner brought him 2 drinks. When Lin Mo called Shanks red-haired, he suddenly thought of a person. In fact, he felt familiar from the first time he saw the red hair, but he couldn't remember where he saw it. You are not the captain of the red-haired pirates, are you? The tavern owner lowered his voice and asked in a low voice. The red hair looked at him, grinned and said, oh, I was discovered. You were really? Realizing that he was speaking too loudly, the tavern owner immediately covered his mouth, lowered his voice to the lowest again, then approached Hongfa and Lin Mo, and said in a low voice, I didn't expect that the one who saved us it's actually a pirate. So, the purpose of your coming here is also for that. That? The redhead asked strangely, what that? It's the devil fruit that will be auctioned in Yuba's underground auction house in 2 days. Huh, devil fruit. The redhead exaggeratedly showed a look of surprise. Lin Mo didn't even bother to look at him more. Shish, keep your voice down. The tavern owner made an ugly gesture to the redhead. You really don't know anything, do you? The red-haired scratched his head, grinned and said, now I know. The tavern owner sighed helplessly. The redhead looked at Lin Mo, and asked with a smile, devil fruits are not common, kid, are you interested in seeing them? Lin Mo drank the wine and said indifferently, I'm not interested. Lin Mo and Hongfa didn't stay in the tavern for too long. After asking about the location of Albana, Lin Mo set off, got on the camel he bought from the small town of Narohara, and continued on his way. The red-haired man followed beside him indifferently, mumbling along the way that he wanted to go to Juba to watch the excitement. Lin Mo ignored the red hair the whole time, until the 2 of them passed a rocky desert, and there was a large group of white birds that looked like they were covered in wounds, lying on the ground sprawling and twitching. This is the deceitful bird, a bird that haunts the rocky deserts and likes to trick travelers into sympathy by pretending to be injured, and then steal their luggage. Huh, what happened to the flock of birds? The redhead asked strangely, looking at the flock of deceitful birds not far away. Lin Mo smiled lightly. Why don't you go and have a look? That's right. The redhead ran towards the group of fraudulent birds, then grabbed one of them and shook it. Hey, you guys are all right. Then, the bird he was holding twitched, weakly, again, looking like it was dying. The red hair turned to look at Lin Mo, and said excitedly, these birds seem to be dying, why don't we let them die more meaningfully? Lin Mo. The red hair hooked his mouth and said with a smile, it looks quite fat, so it must taste very good. Quote exclamation mark quote. The cheating bird caught by the red hair shuddered and began to struggle. Oh, come back. The red hair smiled and grabbed the bird's neck, stood up, looked at Lin Mo again, and asked, what kind of roasted whole bird do you want? Lin Mo smiled lightly and said, anything you want. Okay, then I'll let you have a taste of my craft today. The red-haired stared at the deceitful bird that was already sweating profusely with a smile. The other cheating birds lying on the ground and pretending to be dead all jumped up, fluttered their wings, and flew away. Huh, are you all right? The red-haired was surprised. The deceitful bird in his hand, which was still being strangled by him, was about to cry, and began to squeak and scream. Ha ha ha. The redhead laughed loudly, and let go of the deceitful bird as soon as he let go. Just as the deceitful bird flapped its wings and was about to chase its companion, the sand where Hongfa and Lin Mo were located began to shake. Immediately afterwards, countless huge rhizome-shaped piranhas emerged from the ground, aggressively biting Lin Mo, Hongfa and the deceitful bird that failed to keep up with the partners. It seems that there are many big guys hiding under the sand. The corner of the red hare's mouth was slightly hooked, and he pulled out his sword without hesitation. When two of the giant man-eating plants bit Lin Mo at the same time, the camel carrying Lin Mo was the same as when he encountered the giant lizard before. It was really that this camel escaped all the attacks of these two man-eating plants. Lin Mo, on the other hand, had no intention of stopping the running camel. Maybe he can take this opportunity to get rid of the red hare. The red-haired man saw that the camel carrying Lin Mo ran away, and ran indiscriminately, at a fairly fast speed. If you don't chase after him quickly, you may get separated from him. Without thinking too much, the red hare slashed horizontally with one blow, and an invisible saber energy spread out suddenly, cutting off all the man-eating plants around. This blow also saved the deceitful bird that was almost swallowed by the man-eating grass. Seeing Lin Mo's figure getting further and further away, the red hare was about to fade out of his sight. Without hesitation, he grabbed the bird's leg of the deceitful bird who was breathing a sigh of relief. The red-haired grinned, "I saved your life. It shouldn't be too much to take me after that kid, right?" Squeak. The deceitful bird was startled. When he thought that this man had killed all the man-eating plants with a single knife just now, he felt a chill on the bird's back. For the sake of his own life, the deceitful bird had tears in his eyes and puffed again. He raised his wings, struggled with red hair, and flew in the direction of Lin Mo. After running wildly for more than 3 hours, the camel carrying Lin Mo finally stopped weakly, and lay down on the sand, panting heavily. Lin Mo jumped off its back. He took out the wine gourd and took a sip of the wine. Just when he thought he had successfully shaken off the red hare's aura suddenly appeared in midair. "Hey, Lin Mo!" The red hare excitedly waved to Lin Mo in midair. Hearing this, Lin Mo's mood at the moment was extremely speechless. This guy is really haunted. After the red hare landed on the ground, he patted the back of the sweaty flying bird and said with a big smile, "Thank you, ha ha ha, you can go now." Liar Bird was relieved, and quickly slipped away with tears in his eyes. The red hare looked at the camel, which was tired and paralyzed on the sand. "This guy is really easy to startle, ha ha ha, luckily I caught up with him. Lin Mo, where shall we go next?" "Whatever," Lin Mo said speechlessly. "If that's the case, then continue walking along this road, wherever you go." The red-haired grinned. Lin Mo responded indifferently, "Okay." After that, they rested on the spot for an hour, and after the camel regained its strength, the two of them and the camel set foot on the road again. After walking in the desert for nearly 2 days, the two arrived at the next one, which was surrounded by a circle of tall trees and looked like a large green town. "It's finally here." It was red and hot. Lin Mo's forehead was also covered with sweat. The two immediately speeded up and entered the town. This town was bigger and richer than the one they drank in before. The passers-by on the street are all dressed in fashion, and the buildings in the town look like they have just been renovated. "Oh, this town looks pretty good." The redhead looked around with a smile. Lin Mo walked forward in silence. When passing a stall selling golden apples, the vendor owner immediately held a golden apple and sold it to Lin Mo and Hongfa with a smirk on his face. "Mr. and kid with red hair, you are from other places, do you want to buy a golden apple and try it? My golden apple is not an ordinary apple, but a secret treasure discovered from an ancient ruin. This is a dreamy golden apple that can live for thousands of years just by eating one bite." "Huh, golden apples?" the redhead asked in surprise. "Is it true that you can live for thousands of years just by eating one bite?" Seeing that the red hare seemed very interested, the vendor owner couldn't help but smirked and said, "Of course, what I said is definitely not wrong." The red-haired eyes were shining brightly, and he said excitedly, "That's amazing." The vendor owner continued with a smirk. "The golden apples are now on a special price, and you can buy one for only berries. How about it? Do you want to buy 2 to eat with your children?" "Child?" The red-haired man was taken aback. "Yes." The vendor owner pointed at Lin Mo. "He came here with you, isn't he your child?" The redhead couldn't help laughing and said, "PFF'd, ha 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 ha, if only he was really my child, ha ha ha. Lin Mo, aren't you father and son? The vendor owner scratched his head, then waved his hands indifferently and smiled, ha ha, it doesn't matter if you are not father and son. Anyway, just buy one for the two of you. The price is definitely worth it. Guaranteed that you will not be at a loss if you buy it, and you will not be fooled when you buy it. The so-called golden apples are just the things that locals paint on ordinary apples with golden paint to deceive outsiders. Only those who are single-minded or simply go too far will believe it. However, the guy with red hair who has lived for nearly 30 years also believed it. But Hongfa's money had already been scattered in the previous town, and now he is penniless and can't even afford a bottle of water. Lin Mo, lend me 1,000 Baileys. The red hair immediately sent a signal to Lin Mo for help. Lin Mo directly refused. No borrowing. This is a golden apple. The redhead was a little disappointed, but still muttered unwillingly, eat one bite and you can live for 1,000 years. Lin Mo continued to walk forward without a word. The redhead followed helplessly. The owner of the vendor selling golden apples looked at the two people leaving speechlessly. Have the identities of these two people changed? Why does that child look like an adult? When I was walking in the desert 2 days ago, from time to time there would be big guys hiding in the sand, who were not afraid of death, would come out and attack them, so there was no need to worry about food. Although there was a lot of food piled up in Lin Mo's system space, the red hair kept staring at him, and he couldn't directly take out the food in front of the red hair. Therefore, he ate the natural pure meat feast in the desert for 2 consecutive days. Now that we are in town, we naturally have to have a good meal. Lin Mo randomly found a semi-tavern style restaurant. Ordered a table of dishes and 2 bottles of good wine. The redhead sat down across from him unceremoniously, clasped his hands together, and said with a smile, "Thank you for the hospitality, then I'll start." Lin Mo ignored him and started eating on his own. The red hair wasn't idle either, as if he hadn't eaten for several days, he ate his food in big mouthfuls. At this time, the 2 timid men sitting at the next table gathered together and whispered together. "Are you sure it's tonight?" "That's right. I heard that tickets are required to enter this auction." "Hey, I just got 2 tickets. Ha ha ha, although I can't afford 2 expensive things, it's pretty good to see what the so-called secret treasure of the sea looks like." The voices of the 2 were very small, completely covered by the noise made by other diners in the restaurant. Even so, Lin Mo and Hongfa still heard clearly. "Lin Mo, the secret treasure of the sea they're talking about is the thing I'm thinking of, right?" The red-haired man said vaguely while chewing with food stuffed in his mouth, regardless of his image. Lin Mo remained silent. When the restaurant delivery man brought up the last large order of fried noodles for their table, Lin Mo looked at the delivery man and asked, "What's the name of this town?" The delivery man wondered. "This is Yuba, don't you even know where you are?" The delivery guy just finished speaking. The food that the redhead just ate into his mouth spurted out, "PFF'd, ha ha ha, is this really Yuba?" Yes. A drop of cold sweat rolled down the delivery man's forehead. Without saying anything more, he continued to work. The red hair almost turned over without laughing. "Ahahaha, Lin Mo, don't you think this is too coincidental?" Lin Mo continued to eat the food silently. "That's right, it's quite a coincidence, just like it was arranged." Could it be that in this town, there are progress tasks that he needs to complete? If there is a high probability that it should be related to that underground auction. Lin Mo was thinking. The red hair suddenly said softly, "Since everyone is here, why not go to the underground auction to have a look?" Lin Mo raised his head and glanced at the expectant red-haired man. Without thinking too much, he nodded in response, "Okay." The red-haired was stunned for a moment, then laughed and continued to cook. To enter the underground auction, you must first get a ticket. Although with the abilities of Lin Mo and Hongfa, it is not difficult to break in. But doing so can easily lead to unrest. Then it's him who will be in trouble. Instead of adding unnecessary trouble, it is better to enter the auction according to the normal process and attract as little attention as possible. So, when the 2 people at the next table are leaving after dinner, Lin Mo directly took out a bag of Baileys and threw it to Hongfa, who asked Hongfa to deal with the admission tickets. Can't you go with me?" The red-haired reflexively caught the money bag thrown by Lin Mo, and said boringly, "It's just me, how boring." Lin Mo said calmly. You don't have to go, then the auction will not go. Hey, you can't do this, you obviously promised me just now. How do you get in without a ticket? So you can figure out a way to get tickets with me. I don't go. Why? Trouble. Red hair. The redhead put the straw hat next to her on her head, and said helplessly, that's fine, but you can't sneak away without me knowing. Lin Mo said speechlessly, understood. The red-haired grinned, okay, then I'll go. After finishing speaking, the red hair immediately got up from the dining table and followed in the direction that the two had just walked. As for Lin Mo, after paying for the meal, he also left the restaurant, planning to wander around by himself. Before passing a vendor selling snake wine, Lin Mo stopped. He hasn't had snake wine yet. Looking at the several cobras soaked in the large transparent wine vat, Lin Mo was considering whether to buy a cup and try it. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.